Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please rise and remove your caps as an hour America will be playing the Fire National Anthem.
Count stays the same.
Gotta say, Gilman's probably going for a nice, easy ground ball to second or short, either one. Trying to ground someone into a double play.
Double play is a pitcher's best friend. Gilman takes a check on Morris at first, and ahead in the count 1-2. Here's the next pitch. That one fouled off of the backstop. Count stays the same.
"11 pitches into this inning so far, and I gotta say, he's looking pretty good on the mound. A little bit of jitters in the start of the game, but I think he's looking pretty good.
Count still though 1-2, and Morris on first. Not a huge lead off of the bag. Here's the next pitch. That one outside. Evens the count.
We got a nice battle here. 2-2 count. Runner on first. A lot of things you can do if you're the power in this situation.
Again, the Morris, not a big lead off of the bag as Gilman takes a look at him. Here comes the next pitch. This is over to third. Oh, it bounces over and nearly got Thompson in the head, but luckily he was able to duck away from it, so it's a base hit. Runners on first and second with nobody out. Now it'll be Jackson Strong, the left fielder, due up. That one was a hot potato that bounced up like a jumping bean.
Gotta say, I mean, that's why they call it the hot corner. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not, especially with all this rain. A couple of those bounces might have been a little bit weird.
Might as well put a spring in the ball. But while we wait for the next batter, I gotta say though, I'm not a fan of the skunk tail being on the back of the jersey.
Yeah, it's tough to see the numbers. It looks cool, but not a fan. As that pitch was down the pipe for strike one.
I think if it was down the side of the seam of one of the pants, it would look a lot better.
Maybe on the shirt, you know.
Or maybe on the sleeve. I could see that too, maybe or two like smaller tails, but I don't know. Whoever did it had one job. This one hits on the left field and it's gonna go foul. Strong got a good lick of that one, but it didn't stay fair. Makes the count 0-2.
Almost got all the way into the bullpen, but just hit the top of the fence. That was pretty accurate if he was trying to hit the fence.
But
not that fence.
Gilman is ahead in the count 0-2. Even just getting a strikeout would be a good start, but from first to third, it's a force at any three. Here's the pitch. That one outside, 1-2. So far, though, from the top of the first, Niagara, they're doing pretty well, making Gilman work to get the first out. I know you've been tracking his pitch count so far. I would say it's at about 20.
16.
Close enough. This one's fouled off, goes over the top of the press box, and going near the concourse area, anyone there, duck. You've been warned.
That might have hit a car. Might have hit a...
It was just a sound effect.
Hit something, I know. But that looks to be going pretty fast.
We've had a few that nearly gone in here. We might as well get our mitts ready.
I still got my mitt in my car. Going to a couple of Bison's games this year, I think.
Got to see the Seawolves earlier in the years. The next pitch is low in the dirt ball, too.
I saw that. You know, I had a tri-state prospect showcase there.
It's a beautiful
field.
field.
It was kind of fun. I actually put one to the warning track. Couldn't get it over there.
Runners at first, second 2-2 pitch. That one outside and high, ball three.
Dangerously close to loading the bases here on the first three batters. 3-2 count. I wouldn't be surprised if they send the runners here. Of course, a line drive could be a pretty rough way to end the inning in a triple play.
Well, here's the payoff. Fouled off and hits off the bottom of the middle part of the press box, so neither of us were in danger, but I don't think we would have gotten that with a 39.5-foot pole.
Don't worry, if the ball comes up here, I'll save you.
Well, we might as well get an oar ready. But another payoff pitch coming up here for Gilman. Here's a delivery. Fouled off. Strong, literally staying strong on the dish, trying to at least get on base any way he can. A base hit could possibly drive home Morris. They are looking for revenge here. They lost in the Kids' Day game versus Jamestown 10-3 about a week ago, roughly, a week and a half.
surprised that he didn't swing at that, especially with a few foul balls in a row. You almost get into auto swing mode, just swinging at anything that's pretty close. I mean, honestly, if Gilman would have thrown the rosin bag, he probably would have swung at that, but
He probably would have been coughing up the dust first.
maybe
But
a little bit.
it's going to be now Vincent Morrow, the third baseman that's up. He does also pitch as well. He saw some action here during Kids Day game on the mound. That was in the latter half of the game. Here's Gilman's next pitch. This one's going over to right. And under it is Garth. He'll make the catch. Runner on second. Morris will tag up to third. And now runners around the corners with 2 outs. And that would be Brazier, the first baseman.
Very situational baseball there, putting one into right field. Good job on him advancing the runner. That's all you can really ask for, especially from with 1 out in the inning.
Well, the good news is for Gilman, he's got 2 outs on the board. He has a chance to get out of this funky jam that he's in as Brazier, the first baseman, is up the bat. Runners around the corners with 2 outs.
I sure do like Jam, Norm.
It's always good on toast. Next pitch, outside corner, strike 1.
And that was the 25th pitch of this inning. A little bit rough.
Here comes the next pitch on the way. That one in the dirt. Ball 1.
You gotta wonder, why do you think they go by innings pitched and not pitches pitched if you are trying to limit the pitchers in this summer league?
Well, again, you get a certain amount of innings as the next pitch is foul tipped for a strike. So it's based on the amount of innings pitched, not the number of pitches per appearance.
Yeah, but you would think that you could get through an inning in 3 pitches, or you could get through an inning in 27 pitches like this inning. Not all innings are the same.
Oh, yeah. Well, 1-2 count, 2 outs. Here's the next pitch. That one's swinging. I missed strike 3, so Gilman gets out of that situation, and he'll head back to the dugout, and no runs for the Power. Skunks coming up to bat, and Max, I'm going to let you relive the old times. I'm going to shift it over to you.
I gotta say, I've missed this, Norm. I'd like to remind each and every one of you that support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, celebrating over 50 years of serving automotive needs of the greater Jamestown community with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. All repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for all automotive needs, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of Tarp Skunk Baseball and WRFA. For more information, call 1-866-931-2998. That's 1-866-2931-2998, or visit schultzauto.com. Back to you, Norm.
Max, as always, thank you very much as Brian O'Donnell is warming up in the bullpen. And again, the top 3 batters due up for the Skunks, obviously 1 through 3 because we're in the bottom of the first. Catarado, Guggens, and Gagnon.
Catalano is leading us off. As you said, he is struggling a little bit below the Mendoza line, but he hasn't had that many plate appearances. He's only had 12, as a lot of the games that the Tarp Skunks have had have been postponed. So we don't have much of a sample size for the Skunks as we do for the Power, but hopefully he can turn it around a little bit.
Yeah, plus Catalano hasn't had as many opportunities as some of the other players have, comparison-wise. Example, Johnson, Brady, me, even guys like Thompson. And this is his chance, though, to have a good performance at the dish and maybe get himself some more action on a slightly more consistent basis. But again, Jamestown was able to get out of the top of the first, and it was 2 runners on with nobody out to begin with it, but Gilman responds with 2 strikeouts and was able to get out of it without allowing a run, so he's able to sit pretty in the dugout right now and relax to the top of the second. But right now, Paul Catalano, left fielder, due up the bat.
And I would like to confirm for y'all at home, the hot shot down the third base line was in fact scored a hit, not an error. So the no-no is gone as well as the perfect game.
Yeah, well, it was only the first inning. And yeah, I had already ruled it a single in my scorebook because there's no way Thompson would have been able to get that without taking it to the dome. Next pitch is rolling outside for a ball. Aduto's first of the game, and taking a look at his numbers on the mound so far, 1 start, 5 innings pitched, and only allowed 1 run, struck out 4 versus just 1 walk. As Catalano fouls off the next pitch, evens the count at 1s.
That is a tough pitch to foul off. Looked like a little bit of a cutter cutting into his hands. On a day like today, that's got to feel like a couple of bee stings on the hands.
Well, it's part of the game of being a catcher. Here's the 1-1. Chopper over to first baseman feels it cleanly, and he's safe. So taking a little too long. There was Brazier on the handle. There was a miscommunication between him and Morris. Ruled that an infield single for Catalano. And a little bit of lackadaisicalness by Niagara trying to get it over to first. There was nobody covering the bag by the time Aduto got there. It was too late.
Yeah, his J-run was a little bit shallow. Didn't really cut up the baseline enough. I mean, that was definitely a tough play. Slow roller to first base. Everyone's confused. Infield single's the right play.
He's got a decent lead off the bag. Here's a pickoff, and he is safe. And in the Kids Day game against each other, Jamestown did steal 7 bases, so already keeping an eye on Catalano at first, though he didn't even play in the Kids Day game to begin with.
It does look like he has 1 stolen base as that ball was fouled toward the first baseline on a rope. And I would have been scared, much more scared than the man who is coaching first base. He just stood there like a statue.
I'll say this, though. Gugin's one of the 4 players for Jamestown that goes to Princeton. I was calling them the Law and Order crew, but found out after the last home game that there is actually no law school in Princeton, so might as well go with the Ivy League quartet as the flip over to first in time. However, Catalano was able to get over to second base on the 1-3 ground out, and now it will be the man from north of the border who probably wants to hit one back to his home with the CN Tower because he's from Toronto, Kieran Gagnon.
He's just daring the pitcher to throw him something over the plate. Because as you said, he does want to put it north of the border, but I think he'll be fine with just trading places with Catalano over there at second.
So 1 out, Catalano, the runner at second base. Here comes the next pitch. That one inside, ball 1. And take a look at Gagnon's numbers. He hasn't had a lot of action this year. He's got 12 at-bats, has 2 hits. However, though, he does have 1 run batted in.
He's got a chance for a second one right here.
1-0 pitch on the way, and that one skips to its lead in the dirt. Here's a throw to second. Catalano gets back in time, and good awareness there by Morris to make the catch. He doesn't try going for that. That's possibly going in the center field.
That was a tough throw to make, tough throw to catch, especially when the ground is as wet as it is now. I know that they have tarps, but water still gets under there, and you can see how dark the dirt circle is, so it could be tough to get your feet planted correctly.
So count 2-0. Here comes the Devils' next pitch. Gagnon fouls it off to the backstop for strike 1. So Gagnon gets back into the box. Aduto looking for that right pitch, the right one that he wants to throw. Now he's got the sign.
Lots of green out in the right field side. Going to try and push one opposite field.
Runner's going, and it's going to be shot foul. I think had he not swung, though, at the jump that Catalano had, he'd have gotten in safely.
Yeah, I was going to say something about a 2-1 count and a hit and run being on, but I didn't think that Brazil was that aggressive, especially in the first inning, but I guess he proved me wrong.
Well, the count's even at 2-2 with just 1 out. Aduto checks Catalano at second. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike 3, and anywhere near the zone, don't stand like a statue. At least wave the bat at the ball.
10 pitches for Aduto, and he's got himself a strikeout. He looks to be mowing down the Tarp Skunks crew. So I guess it's a good thing that Brazil's being as aggressive as he is.
So Drew Garth getting his first start at home this season as Adano looking to set the last three in order and end the first. Here comes Adano's next pitch. Outside, ball one, and bit of a psych out there in a second, and it'll just go straight to Adano.
Looks like they are pretty nervous, for being honest here. A little bit too nervous, possibly.
Again, the last home game these two teams played each other, Jamestown, they were 7 of 8 stealing bases. The only time they got caught, Johnson was picked off as Garth swings and misses there for strike one.
I remember last year they really enjoyed stealing on the Niagara Tower.
So count even here at ones. Adult checks Catalano. Here's the pitch, swinging a miss, strike two.
One strike away from working out of this jam. Looking pretty good for the Power so far this evening.
Adult gets the sign he wants from Galinsky. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. So Garth going to be walking to the dugout alone as Wayne abandons him on that one. And one inning complete here at Dietrich. Score scoreless. Top of the second inning coming up momentarily right here on WRFA. You guys are doing fine. I was making honest for the Gotcha. Inning allotment. Yes. Both people pitchers leave around the first third of the season. Yeah. And we're about to start the top of the second inning here between Jamestown and Niagara. Brett Johnson, Jimmy Galinsky, and Miles Pallister do up. Here's Gilman's next pitch. Inside ball one, and he was pushing 30 pitches in the first inning with how much Niagara had with the foul balls and also their excellent patience on the dish.
Yeah, he's struggling to find the zone here as you saw that first ball, but he did foul off a ball towards the first base side dugout to make it a 1-1 count real quick.
Gilman's next pitch. Called outside corner, strike two. I thought that was going to be ruled a ball. It did look like it was a tad low, but it goes Gilman's way, 1-2.
It looked a couple of ball lengths outside, too.
Here's the next pitch by Gilman. That one skipped to my loo, my darling, in the dirt, making it a 2-2 count.
Yeah, love those 58-foot breaking balls if you are a batter. Very easy. It starts low and it just keeps getting lower, so it's easy to do a spin on it.
Here's the double deuce count, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Fouled off on the check swing and went. It sounded like it hit the power dugout, but the count stays even at 2.
Came about half a foot away from hitting a dude that's sitting on a bucket right now, so I guess he should be pretty happy.
I bet. It's another 2-2 pitch. Fouled off, and we're seeing what we saw at the top of the first. Niagara staying patient, and also what Jamestown really didn't do in the first, they're staying aggressive. Anything near the zone, even they foul it off, they get to see another pitch, and it also raises the pitcher's pitch count. So I got to say job well done so far by Niagara, staying patient. Here's a 2-2. That one low and outside, ball 3.
Yeah, Niagara's plate discipline has
ball 4. I got a little fun fact here for you for Niagara about 2 years ago. You know the baseball player for the Giants, Jock Peterson?
Yeah.
2 years ago, his father was the head coach for Niagara, Stu Peterson.
That is fun.
I wonder what the full name is for Jock. I'm not sure if it's maybe Jock O or Jock E or it's just Jock. It's a unique name.
I like the name Jock.
Here comes Gilman's next pitch. Right down the dish, strike 1.
If you see that Johnson has a pretty hefty lead, he does lead the team in stolen bases, as according to our stat sheet.
Says here he's got 4. He's taken off. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off. Strike 2. Very fortunate that he did that because, again, that jump, I don't think Middleman's throw would have gotten there in time.
The hit and run is something you don't normally see in an 0-1 count, but I definitely like the play. You might see him on the move again here.
Here's the pickoff, but slides back in safely. I remember last year, you and I both, the big handful of games we called together, there were a couple of skunk pitchers that had a really lightning quick pickoff maneuver.
Taking an extra foot on the lead.
Here's the 0-2. And, it deflects off of Guggens' glove. Honestly, I do believe that could be ruled a hit because it bounced and hit off the top. We'll just have to wait and see what it says on the scoreboard, but I think that's going to be ruled. No, it's ruled an error.
Yeah,
So it's going to be E6. For me, it was iffy just because of that bounce.
I was going to rule it an error. I think he could have definitely made it. He could have even caught it on the hop or before the hop. I think he was trying to make an extra play, trying to get a double play.
So he overthought it.
That's what I assume.
Well, you and I both saw it last season. Errors were a big problem. Pop-up butt. Thompson can't quite make the catch. So it's going to be a reprieve there for Pallister. And last year, errors were a big problem for Jamestown. It cost them a lot of games, and there was even one game where they had 6. And there were a big handful where they had at least 4.
I remember that all too well. Make me.
I got to borrow a line from the Princess Bride with that. Inconceivable.
Yeah.
Well, here's the 0-1 pitch outside ball 1. And, well, yeah, taking a look at that, though, because I was waiting for it to go on the board because sometimes it's discretion. I was just thinking based off the bounce, but at the end of the day, that is one Guggen should have reeled in.
And that bunt pop fly probably could have been caught.
Yeah, Thompson was at a strange angle, though, too, as the next pitch was in the inside corner for strike 2.
He definitely overcommitted on the bunt, which is it's something you're supposed to do, but he was a bit too late reacting to seeing the ball go in the air.
1-2 pitch inside. Played a little funny ball music there as it evens the count. We got the double deuces, 2-2, and second straight inning. Niagara starts off with 2 runners on, nobody out. Last time, though, they were unable to succeed on it. Gilman struck out a pair and Morrow flew out the right, but they got another chance here. I bet they're hungry after that Kids Day game. Here's the pitch. Grounder over to third. Thompson fields a cleanly throw to second. Oh, and he can't make the catch! Runner's going to head home, and he's going to be safe. Sliding in is Johnson, and that's going to be on the second baseman. That's going to be an E4. It was a good throw by Thompson, and that's one Bendeck should have had. Second error of the inning, and bit of a deja vu moment we're starting to see here. They haven't had a lot of errors as of late. They only had 1 in their last home game. They already have 2 in this inning alone. And the infield so far from what we've seen at home, they've been doing very well, but there are a couple of guys out there that haven't played a lot. Monroe at first and Bendeck at second. It's usually been sometimes Guggens at second and sometimes Grady Lee, but getting some well-deserved rest. But here's the pitch, outside ball 1, and that's a critical mistake right there because you just gave up a run.
Not only is Gilman looking a bit frustrated, he is adding a good mile an hour or maybe even up to 3 miles an hour on his fastball as he ropes one to right field, caught, and they finally are able to get an out on a F9 of all things.
And that was Fairbrother that was up the bat, and now it'll be Alex Simeon, the extra hitter.
Now
Good news is, though, they have one out, so they have a chance to add an insurance run for 2.
And the Tarp Skunks are definitely going to be trying for a routine, tailor-made double play, of course.
Maybe go around the horn.
Of course, but the way that the infield is playing, not everything is going to be routine, as that is a ball low and inside, it looks like.
Yeah, and again, a couple of the guys in the infield, they are not full-time starters, but when you get your chances to play, you've got to be able to produce. If you don't, your playing time will diminish. But the next pitch was low for ball 2.
And that was the 50th pitch for Gilman.
I was about to ask you.
That is not necessarily a lot, but for an inning and a third.
For an inning and a third, that's a boatload. His next pitch is inside ball 3, and Simeon nearing a 4-pitch walk, and that would be the bases jammed, and we'd be back to the top of the order with Billy Morris. Situation that's called a red light, and 3-1's usually the green light.
It depends on who's batting, especially like if you're in the bottom of the order, you probably do have the red light.
That's going to go through on the right, base hit, and they're going to go station to station. Didn't go deep enough, and thrown to Monroe, the cutoff guy, and we're back to the top of the order with Billy Morris with the bases juiced, and just went out. But the good news is for Gilman, though, the thing he can relax on, it's a force at any base. As pitching coach Barry Powell, who you actually had a chance to interview last season, I've gotten to interact with him myself. Very nice guy to talk to, and he's going to have a conference on the mound with Gilman and see if he can get out of this. There's nobody warming up in the Skunks bullpen. Personally, I like that decision. Pitchers need to learn to get out of situations like this if they want to make it to the show.
Pickle that he's in. Bases juiced with 1 out. The plus side is the double play is in the cards. Force at any base. Probably going to be playing infield, maybe corners in. Middle infield is playing double play depth. I would definitely go corners in. I'm not sure if I can trust the corner infielders to go at least around the horn, especially with how the ground is today, and especially with how
it
just
rained
the atmosphere
yesterday.
and all that. Yeah, it was raining cats and dogs.
It's turning to a beautiful evening, though.
Yeah, I mean,
there's some clouds in the sky, but we also see some light blue, some baby blue, I would say, and conference on the mound over and Morris up. And if I'm the batter, I aim for one of those open pockets in the outfield. Aim for like the shallow part of it, because all the outfielders, they're playing semi-deep.
Yeah, they're playing no doubles.
Maybe the middle, like those middle pockets. If it could get a couple of bounces because it was raining, it could drive into it. It could maybe clear the bases.
And we do have the corners in. First base is playing a little bit back, but pretty much in, as the first pitch to Morris is called strike 1.
Yeah, in his first at-bat, he was walked, but he was also left stranded at third, hanging out with Gilligan, the skipper, the millionaire, his wife, the movie star, the professor, and Marianne. His next pitch is in the dirt, but a nice catch by Middleman for a ball. And again, from all 3 catchers from what I've seen, they've got the shades of campus. They've done well blocking bad pitches and all the works when it comes to ones that could be passed balls or wild ones.
Yeah, I haven't seen many passed balls over the past few years.
Next one, this could be a double play. 6-4, 3 double play. And a 6-4-3 double play to end the top of the second. Score 1-0 going. Maximus, shift it over to you.
Hey, thank you very much, Norm. I'd like to remind you guys again that support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball is brought to you in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to live, work, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses. It also promotes the retention and expansion of existing businesses. And it offers businesses assistance in the forms of tax abatements, low interest loans, and bond financing, all of which enhance the opportunities for job creation and retention across Chautauqua County. The Chautauqua County IDA, a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 716-661-8900 or visit ccida.com. And I gotta say, Norm, that double play,
That was textbook.
breath of fresh air.
They were due. They were due for something like that, but batters due up are 5 through 7, Thompson, Servia, and Wallace. And before we start, though, Max, I gotta say it's great to be able to do another game here with you. Personally, I enjoyed doing the majority of the games with you last season, and it's always encouraging when it comes to this program where some of the interns who want to get in the field similar to what I'm doing right now and being able to commentate a game with whether it's you or Colin Wood from time to time, and even from the first season, Dan Millay, it's always a lot of fun, and it's encouraging to see because not a lot of people these days want to pursue the career putting on the headset, but I relish in opportunities like this, being able to call games with the ones like yourself that are interested in doing something like this.
Well, I've always loved baseball, and I've always loved talking about baseball, and my family doesn't love listening to me talk about baseball, so I guess it's...
Don't sell yourself short, Max. I know you know your stuff. You do well.
I guess it's just a breath of fresh air to talk about baseball to people who want to hear about baseball. So I'm glad to do it here. I know I've worked with you at the Jamestown Jackals.
Oh, yeah.
I was taking pictures for them. I wasn't...
And I was doing the live stream commentary on TBL TV. Yeah, I've interacted with you there a few times. It was a bit strange being for a different team and a different sport, but you got to be able to be well branched in multiple sports to be able to get into a field like this.
Yeah, I do love basketball, football. I love all the sports that I can think of. I will say basketball and baseball are probably the two sports I think I could be in the broadcast booth for, especially baseball because I've played baseball since I was 5, so I've loved it ever since.
Well, here comes the Devils' next pitch to Thompson. Called strike, outside corner. And so far, Thompson, throughout the season, he's done really well, and he alternates between third and second base, and he's done a great job so far. Well, here comes the Devils' next pitch, and the 0-1. It's going to be a chopper. Fielded there by Morrow, and the throw to Brazier is in plenty of time, so a 5-3 ground out, and now it'll be Alex Servia, the extra hitter.
Believe it or not, the choppers to third base are one of the toughest plays to make.
I believe it.
You know, you gotta read the bounces, especially on a field like this. Like I played in Packard, that one was like literally rocks everywhere. Couldn't field in the infield at all.
As that ball is high and away for ball 1 to Servia.
Yes, Servia getting his first start at Dietrich this season, and taking a look at his numbers batting-wise, he's had 12 at-bats. He's only had 1 hit, but he's got a chance to raise his batting average as the next pitch is outside for ball 2.
2-0 count. He's got a lot going for him right now. He can do a lot of things. He can wait for a strike. He can attack. I always liked attacking.
And he's crowding that plate a little bit. Here's the pitch. It's going to be another chopper. This one over to second. A nice grab and throw there for the second out. Good fielding there by Morrison to get it over to Brazier. And backtracking a second, though, with those choppers. One guy in the MLB that was really good at that, he wasn't a baseman, but he was a shortstop, Omar Vizquel.
Yeah.
11-time Gold Glove winner, and mainly played for the Indians, played for them, but he started in Seattle for a few years and then went to the San Francisco Giants, then finished off a bit with the White Sox and the Blue Jays. He actually has the most base hits ever, the most hits for a Venezuelan-born player, as the next pitch is called in the inside corner for strike 1 to Aiden Wallace.
He's pitching a low 20 pitches so far.
I think the target range per inning would be about 15 as the next pitch is outside for a ball.
Yeah, anywhere below 15 is good. If you're on the offensive side of things, you want to get them above 15 pitches an inning.
Maybe 20. But here's the next pitch to Wallace. It's outside, making it 2-1. And Wallace, he had a pinch hit appearance in their last home game, which was the 14-6 win over the Geneva Red Wings. And the thing that got them to run away with that game, 7 runs in the 7th inning. So they got it done when it mattered. Next pitch, outside corner, and we got the triple deuces on the board. 2-2 count, 2 outs. But if we also want to add the 2 hits and 2 errors we see, that could be a quintuple deuce. O'Donnell looking for back-to-back shutout innings. Here comes the next pitch. Low and outside, makes the count full, and should Wallace get walked, Cooper Monroe, the first baseman, is on deck. But rule of thumb, full count, anywhere in the zone, take a swing.
A lot of green to work with. They are playing no doubles defense.
And that one upstairs, ball 4. So first walk by O'Donnell, and Cooper Monroe, the guy that makes Aaron Judge look like Danny DeVito, up the bat.
Yeah, that pitch seemed to buzz the tower a little bit scary. 3-2 is not exactly the pitch that you want to have a brushback pitch, but I don't think he meant to do a brushback pitch. But if he did, I think Wallace will be scared for the next at bat.
Yeah, again, though, I talked to you about this before the game. Monroe, he's the tallest skunk, 6'10". And that pitch goes behind Glinsky, and Wallace heading to second, and he may have gotten tagged out, and he did. So decided to go the extra 90 feet, but he got caught, and that concludes 2 innings here at Dietrich. Niagara still up 1-0, 3rd inning coming up, but stick around right here on WRFA.
We'll have more live Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball in just a moment, but right now it's time to meet one of the Tarp Skunks right here on WRFA.
I'm Ryder Falsky, and I'm a right-handed pitcher.
These things are a lifesaver.
And I go to Mercyhurst University. I'm a double major in finance and business econ, and I'm not sure yet what I want to do with my degree yet. My dad's favorite team's the Mets, so I watch them a lot, so I'd probably say them. I don't really have a favorite player. I used to play basketball, but I don't play that anymore in college.
What do you like to do when you're not playing baseball?
I've been picking up golf a lot recently. It's been not that great, but getting a lot better at it.
What's your favorite baseball memory?
Probably winning the Western Division for Tarp Skunks my first year here.
What do you like best about playing for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks?
The fans are the best part. They make it a great experience here. They're always out here supporting us no matter what.
Sounds good. Do you have anything else to add?
Go Tarp Skunks.
Voice of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks on WRFA-LP. Tune in for live play-by-play action for each home game right here on your community radio station. For a complete broadcast schedule, visit WRFALP.com/TarpSkunks. See you at the ballpark.
Top of the 3rd about to start here as Evans, Strong, and Morrow are due up back in the top of the 2nd, though. Gilman was in a bases-loaded situation, but he got saved by the pitcher's best friend, the double play, 4-6-3 style. So he was able to just allow 1 run, but the question is how much longer is he going to pitch, because he's over 50 pitches as this one goes over to Bendeck, and to throw to Monroe in plenty of time for the 4-3 ground out on just 1 pitch. So now it's going to be Jackson Strong, who got rung up looking in his first at-bat.
I got to say, Bendeck looked to be a little bit scared of that ball. It took a weird hop at the end, but he seemed to stick with it well enough to get the out at first.
Next pitch, inside corner, strike 1.
And even after all of the pitches that he has thrown, he's at 57 right now. You can still hear the clap of the bat as he forces a swing and miss for strike 2. Pulled the throttle on that one a little bit slow.
Off speed is just as good as heat. Here's the 0-2. That one upstairs, ball 1.
Elevated fastball, trying to get the swing and miss for strike 3. One of my favorite pitch sequences. Fastball, off speed fastball.
Next one in the dirt. Nice catch by Middleman, and evens the count at 2s. Again, this is something Niagara's done very well with so far, is staying patient and making Gilman's count really high, as this one goes into center, but Gagnon under it, and he'll make the catch for the 2nd out. So Gilman has a chance for the first 1-2-3 inning of the game as it will be Vincent Morrow, who flew out the right in his first at-bat.
You know, it's crazy to me how when we get here, not a blue sky in sight. It was clouds everywhere, raining, and now we got a nice, beautiful sunset over Hillside Suites in Jamestown campus.
And here's the next pitch by Gilman. That one inside, ball one. If Gilman could get the 1-2-3, by far this will be the fewest amount of pitches he's thrown in an inning. But here's the next one. That one ruled outside 2-0. And it appears there's about to be some action going on momentarily in the bullpen. There is a catcher warming up to prepare to catch some warm-up pitches from a pitcher. This one is hit the left, and it's Catalano under it, and he will make the easy catch. First 1-2-3 inning of the game, and Gilman, his shortest inning so far in this one, keeps the score 1-0. And Max, once again, when you're ready to, do your stuff.
Oh, I'm ready. Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Chautauqua Institution. Chautauqua Institution, a community on the shores of Chautauqua Lake that comes alive each summer with a unique mix of fine and performing arts, including theater and musical entertainment, along with lectures, interfaith worship, and programs and recreational activities. The 2023 season features Natalie Merchant, Diana Ross, Patty LaBelle, The Revivalist, Band of Horses, Straight No Chaser, Snarky Puppy, Trombone Shorty, Mavis Staples, and more. Chautauqua Institution. For more information, call 1-800-836-ARTS or visit discover.chq.org. You know, I gotta say, Straight No Chaser is probably one of my favorite renditions of the 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh, that, and also, Christmas time is here. It's only gone once a year. Honestly, though, the ones I wouldn't mind seeing besides them are Natalie Merchant, formerly of 10,000 Maniacs, Diana Ross, whether solo or whether she was with the Supremes. Always great to listen to, and a couple of her best songs, in my opinion, Upside Down, I'm Coming Out. Love the bass line on that one, and that's the best part about the R&B and the Motown kind of tunage. And honestly, one I would have loved to see, even though he's not alive, Marvin Gaye would have been, I think, a great show to see.
Yeah, definitely. I wish I was born a little bit earlier to be more in tune with the R&B music culture, but alas, here I am.
But you know what, though? At least I could say I saw the Four Tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were known for the song Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. I can't help myself. It was on films like Forrest Gump and Shark Tale.
Unfortunately, I have been born about 10 years too late. So.
Well, I was born in '95 myself, so I kind of have not as much room to talk, even though I've got some years over you.
Just a few.
But yeah, both teams actually exchanged 1-2-3 innings. Niagara's was in the unconventional way because Wallace got caught trying to advance a second off of a wild pitch. So Cooper Monroe will get a fresh at-bat here, and it'll be his first at-bat of the game again. And so far this year for Monroe, he's 2 for 12, good for a 167 batting average. But don't let that fool you. He can crack the baseball. But this one's going to be a chopper. Goes over to the pitcher. Monroe hustling, but the throw's going to be in time for a 1-3 ground out. Good effort by Monroe. I would say A for effort, but not able to get the first in time. If he would have had maybe a tad more speed, he'd have gotten there.
And you can see how frustrated he was with that, with how the distance that he threw his bat. He was pretty mad. He almost threw it into the Niagara dugout.
So now it's Ryan Middleman, one of the trifecta of catchers. He's only had 7 at-bats so far, but he does have 2 hits. Good for a 286 average. And here's O'Duddle's next pitch. That one outside corner, strike one. And so far, O'Duddle, he's pitched very well. He's only allowed the Skunks to just 1 hit, and that was back on the leadoff guy, Paul Catalano. He started off the bottom of the first with a single, as the next one was a hot shot foul and makes it strike 2.
Yeah, compounding off your point, O'Duddle, he has everything going on for him. His off-speed pitches are slow enough to counter every bat speed that the Skunks have, as that ball is also roped over to Faulkner Street. But his heater's on point. He's painting every corner there is. He's doing really good.
So count still 0-2. So, and he also has 1 walk versus 2 strikeouts, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind his third one. Here's the pitch. This is going to be a grounder. Morris, oh, he bobbled it. He picks it up. Here's a throw, and just in the nick of time, he avoids a possible E4, turns it into a 4-3 ground out, and sometimes one of the best things you got to have is being able to recover quickly off of a funky bounce like that.
Yeah, it's some good stick-to-itiveness. It was a bit of a funky bounce. Very admirable of him not putting his head down and just, giving up on the play, but he didn't, and now there's 2 down in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
And now it'll be Bendeck, the second baseman, up, and here's the Devils' next pitch. Here's the bunt. It's going to go down to 3rd. Fielded cleanly there by Morrow, and the throw's in time. 3 consecutive 1, 2, 3 innings we have seen. Score still 1-0 Niagara, and Max, once again, my friend, I'm going to shift it over to you.
I think we're actually going to be taking a break.
Oh, yes,
after
my
the bottom of the
apologies
inning.
on that. Yeah, that was a quick bottom of the 3rd, but 3 innings complete. Score still 1-0. Stick around right here on WRFA for the 4th.
WRFA's Arts on Fire live series continues on Thursday, June 15th with a performance by Charity News and Friends. Be part of the live studio audience as we welcome Charity News, a multi-talented singer-songwriter known for her signature powerhouse vocals, psychedelic mandolin style, and captivating stage presence. Her band consists
there is a
of
guy
Jerry Bunt,
warming up.
Sarah Rafalowski, and Jim Sturdivant. The performance will take place Thursday night, June 15th
You got your
at
binos here?
with doors opening at 6 p.m. Refreshments will be available prior to the start of the show. It'll be streamed live on YouTube and also broadcast on a future episode of WRFA's weekly arts and entertainment series, Arts on Fire. Only a limited number of tickets are available.
I'm trying to see what that number is.
To purchase tickets for Charity News and Friends on June 15th,
Well, it looks like it could be 34.
WRFALP.com, or look for the event listing on WRFA's Facebook page. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball, right here on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
All right, we're about to have the top of the 4th here momentarily, and so far it's been a pitcher's duel here. It's 1-0 Niagara ahead, and we've had 3 straight 1, 2, 3 innings. And for anybody that didn't catch it, Max, how many pitches did Adult throw in the bottom of the 3rd? Because it was very few.
6 pitches.
Wow.
The first and the last out, or the first and the 3rd out, were both done in 1 pitch. A ground out back to the pitcher, and then a bunt to the 3rd baseman, both on the first pitch of their respective at-bats. But the middle out, the 2nd out, was a bit of a battle, as that ball is corkscrewed down the first base line, foul.
5 to 7 batters up. It's Brazier that's up now. Then it'll be Johnson and Glinsky. And Brazier in his first at-bat, he struck out swinging.
Just looking at the pitch total, Gilman is at 64. Aduddle's only at 33. So very dominant on one side, as that ball was swung on and missed for strike 2.
0-2 pitch on the way, outside 1-2, and we did find out who's warming up. It's Evan Berta, number 30. He's warming up in the bullpen right now, and he's a 5'9 southpaw. He's a junior at Fairfield University. He's from Yorktown Heights, New York, as the next one swung on and missed for strike 3. So that's going to be Gilman's 3rd strikeout of the game, and now it will be Brett Johnson, who walked and also scored the only run of the game so far.
That is the 10th straight batter to be sent back to the dugout from 3 1-2-3 innings in a row, and that was the first one of this inning.
Yep, Gilman came into this game with just 1 strikeout. He's got 3 tonight. Here's his next pitch. That one low, ball 1. And again, he kept an eye on Johnson when he got walked. He does lead the power with 4 steals, and he's accounted for half of the team's stolen bases this year. Next pitch is fouled off, making it 1-1. Triple sticks on the board with the 1 out.
If Gilman manages to get one more out, this will be the longest start of his tenure as a Tarp Skunk. Then again, it is his second start, so.
Yep, his first one, he only worked 3 1/3 innings. This is going to be a grounder. Fielded there cleanly, but it's not going to be in time, so rule that an infield single. Googans had a little trouble trying to get into his glove. He was able to cleanly get it, but by the time he made the exchange to Monroe, it was too late. So that's an infield single for Johnson, and now it's going to be Glinsky, the catcher.
Glinsky reached base on an error on the last one. This was the failed attempt to scoop the ball by the shortstop, the E6.
Next pitch is inside for a ball. Again, Berta's the guy warming up in the bullpen for Jamestown, and 1 run and just 3 hits, no errors for Niagara. Meanwhile, for Jamestown, it's a bit of an upward count. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 errors. One of the errors actually drove home Johnson. So, with that being on the error, it will not be a charged run to Gilman as the next pitch is swung on and missed for a strike, evening the count at 1-1.
Yeah, Gilman is having some trouble. Of course, not all of the trouble is on him. He has allowed 3 hits, but the 2 errors are really what is killing the start for today.
Yeah, well, Johnson's taking off. It's going to be a grounder over to third. Thompson fields it. Throw over to Monroe in time, and Johnson able to get the second safely. So there is 2 outs now, and it will be Pallister, the right fielder. He got on an E4. It was what was back-to-back errors by Jamestown as Powell will come out to talk to Gilman. I think this could be possibly the last batter Gilman will face. Again, Berta is warming up in the bullpen. Even so, though, Gilman he's done well in this start. It's just a case of his pitch count being high and also those 2 errors. But it is going to be a pitching change here, so it's going to be the end of the day for Gilman. Even so, though, not a bad performance. It was just a case of the high pitch count, and without those 2 errors, this game would be a scoreless tie, but the run, again, will not be charged to him because the run scored on an error. And, again, it's going to be Evan Berta coming into the bullpen, from the bullpen. It's a call to the bullpen, and taking a look at Berta's pitching numbers, he has appeared in 2 games, no starts. He's worked 3 1/3 innings. He's walked 3, he's struck out 4, and his ERA is a Brooklyn Bagel Factory, all zeros.
And Gilman getting the bit of an early hook, but he has pitched 74 pitches through 3 2/3 innings, and that is just that is a lot of pitches. And I have to say, it's really taxing on the arm, especially with the heat that he throws. We used to have knuckleballers who could throw 150 pitches a game. But
oh, yeah, Tim Wakefield,
yeah.
R.A. Dickey. Well, Dickey had that 1-year wonder with the Mets, and after that, he went back down to normal.
Yeah.
But the catch is with him, he was born without a UCL in his pitching arm.
Okay.
Because if you could tell if it dangled a little bit, he has no UCL in that arm. So he got sent down to the minors. Then he had the 20-win season with the Mets in the early 2010s. He even had 2 straight 1-hit shutouts. But, again, it's Berta warming up on the belt. But I got to say, though, even though he just worked 3 2/3 innings, Gilman had a solid performance.
Yeah,
he had 3
pretty good.
strikeouts. I think if his pitch count would have been 20, 25 pitches lower, he probably could have worked into the 5th possibly. But nothing to be ashamed of. And, again, all these pitchers, they have inning limits that are required by their respective college coaches.
Yeah, it's definitely tough going underneath or sticking to the pitch inning limits. Sorry, I had a mumble of my words, but my old walk-up song just played, and I got a little bit excited. The God's Gonna Cut You Down by Johnny Cash.
Well, yeah, before that, as he was going in, I thought that was his actual walk-up, Too Much Time, My Hands, My Sticks.
Yeah.
I'm like, that'd be a great walk-up song to go to on the belt because the upbeat keyboards of Dennis DeYoung and then the drumming. but he's got a semi sidearm delivery. This is his first appearance at home this year.
Yeah, his window's looking at around a 10 o'clock. Not something you see too much anymore, especially at the level that we're at, the 10 o'clock, maybe 9:30. But I think it should be good enough to fool a little bit, especially going from right-handed to left-handed.
Yeah, and with these inning limits, because of all that, so far for the Skunks, the team leader in wins is actually a bullpen pitcher, and that's Evan Chaffee. He's got 2 wins on the year, and he's what I like to call Mr. Roll Tide because he plays for Alabama, the legitimate Crimson Tide. As his first pitch was low for a ball, and again, it is Pallister that is up. He did get on base his first at-bat on an E4, and on that error, what was a back-to-back errors, one of them actually scored the only run of the game so far. That one nearly got him in the ankle, but luckily it missed, making it ball 2.
You know, I do have a question for you, Norm.
Lay it on me.
How do you feel about the pitch clock in the MLB?
Personally, I think it's still a normal game even with the clock. It's, from what I know, you have to have your pitch, you have to start your motion at 5 seconds, otherwise it's an automatic ball. And if the batter fails to go in the box with 8 seconds left, it's an automatic strike. And that also does save the number of pitches that a pitcher throws too. So I can understand that. I would rather see that than the runner on second.
Yeah, I don't hate the pitch clock. I just think it was done very badly.
Well, it does speed up the game, though. 'Cause there's been a couple games that have been a little over 2 hours. That one goes between Middleman's legs. Case of Bill Buckner right there, and it's going to be Johnson advancing the third.
Yeah, looking like a 5-hole goal. Now we got the Stanley Cup done and over with.
Yep, Eichel is a Stanley Cup champion, but the thing is, it wasn't with the Sabres.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it.
That's probably a sour taste in the mouth to Sabre fans, and personally, I'm not one, but I would not mind going to KeyBank to see them because I'm happy that they are becoming watchable as the count goes full on the pitch at the heart of the plate. But should Pallister get walked or get a hit, Fairbrother is due up. Fairbrother, he usually plays first base, and he's also a pitcher. But here's the payoff. Chopper, and Googans makes it, goes on one knee, throw to first, and he's able to touch the bag for the out. So good job there by Monroe to keep the foot in the corner of the bag and make the catch. 3.5 complete, score still 1-0 as Johnson stranded at third. This time, because it's going to be the bottom half, Max, I'm going to shift it over to you.
All right, sounds good. I'd like to remind you again that support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, celebrating over 50 years of serving automotive needs of the greater Jamestown community with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. All repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for all automotive needs, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of Tarp Skunks baseball and WRFA. For more information, call 1-866-931-2998 or visit schultzauto.com. Norm, back to you.
Max, as always, thank you very much. And again, great to have you back on here with me commentating a game here as O'Donnell gets ready for his 4th inning of work. And he's got the top of the order in Catalano, Googans, and Gagnon due up the bat. And Catalano, he's got the only hit of the game for Jamestown. And besides that, it's been a mix of groundouts, strikeouts, and 1 walk. And O'Donnell has retired 9 of the last 10 batters that he's faced.
Yeah, it's O'Donnell's just rolling through this Tarp Skunks lineup, only allowing 1 hit, 1 walk, and that walk didn't even matter with the caught stealing that was there. It's just almost like he's untouchable out there today. So perhaps maybe the second time through the lineup, maybe he'll hang a curveball. Maybe he'll start to show some fatigue, put something right in the middle of the zone. It's just something you do love to see it. Just such a dominant pitching performance. And yeah, it is through only 3 innings, but it's just not something you see that much anymore, especially at this level.
And what do you got for his pitch count total so far?
Very minimal 33 pitches.
So 11 pitches an inning so far, and Jamestown will look to up the ante on that a little bit. It's only the bottom of the fourth, and it's only a 1-0 game, so plenty of baseball left for the Skunks to not only tie, but take the lead. They haven't lost the game at home so far this year. Their only loss was on the road. That was 7-0 versus the Double Days. This is a chopper over to Morris. Feels it cleanly and it throws in time. 4-3 ground out. So, again, a case of the one pitch, one swing, one out as Guggens, part of the Ivy League quartet, is up to bat.
I think Bazille's going to have to talk to his team about maybe just taking a strike. You know, an 0-1 count is perfectly fine, especially if you're as talented as these hitters. But just you can't expect to do good if you're only doing one pitch in at bat.
Here comes the Devils' next one. That one's low for a ball. One-0 count. Here comes the next delivery by a Duddle. That one outside 2-0.
And the lights have just come on within the last inning. Beautiful sight here at Russell Dietrich Park.
So 2-0 count, a Duddle's next pitch. That one's low, ball 3. And Guggens doing what the last few batters haven't and not just settling for the first pitch.
Yeah, definitely he's got some good plate discipline here. Wonder if he's got the green light from Bazille.
Well, here's a 3-0. Inside, ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk. Second walk issued by a Duddle, and this is a good chance here for Jamestown. It's the first time they've got a runner on the start. Oh, no, I beg your pardon. Maybe, or it's not. It is one out, and Guggens on first on the walk, and now it's going to be Kieran Gagnon, the center fielder, due up.
I'm sensing a hit and run here.
That's what I'm thinking. They average 3 steals a game as a team, but so far over the last few games this year, they've been averaging roughly about 5, as that one's fouled off for a strike. And taking a look at the steals department, though, totaling it up, they already have 40 stolen bases as a team, and that's almost 6 a game because they've had a few postponed due to rain and air quality issues. And the leader in steals right now is Grady Mee with 7, and Braden Johnson's got 6. And Johnson, he knows how to get on base. He's been walked 8 times to lead the team. And he also wears an old number of a guy that was always patient at the plate, Patrick O'Shaughnessy. Even though he wore number 10 when you were here, the first year he was a skunk, he was number 19, as the next pitch was inside for a ball.
I miss Pat. He was such a nice guy.
Yeah, his season was cut short, but he did play one game on that torn meniscus. And one of the years he played for the Skunks, his walk-to-strikeout ratio was nearly 4-1. He walked 39 times and struck out only 10, as the next pitch was foul-tipped for strike 2, making it a 1-2 count.
1-2. Not expecting anything aggressive from Bazille. They're already overly aggressive, especially early in the counts.
Yeah, taking a look at Guggens, though, he does have 2 steals on the year. This one is outside, and Gagnon clearly did not go beyond half of the home plate, so the count is even at 2s.
2-2, you're starting to get into an area where you could perhaps maybe do a hit and run.
It's worth a shot.
Definitely worth a shot, especially down by 1 in the 4th inning.
Next pitch. That one was outside, and again, Gagnon aborted that check swing, and the count goes full. And we got the final countdown on the board, 3-2 count with just 1 out, and Garth is up next. He's on deck, and in his first at-bat, he grounded out 1-3. But again, full count, 1 out, Guggens on first, payoff pitch coming for a Duddle. And here's the delivery. Guggens is taking off. It's ball 4. And that one goes to center field. Guggens going to head for third. Oh, no, they called that a strikeout, I beg your pardon. And Guggens is at third, steals second, then gets to third on the errant throw. It was a delayed call there, whether that was ball 4 or strike 3, but Gagnon was caught looking. That's going to be the 3rd strikeout of the game for a Duddle. And now it will be Drew Garth with a chance to tie this game up with Googans at third.
90 feet away is the tying run, and yes, again, it is early to be talking about, the tying run, the go-ahead run, but in a game like this, a pitcher duel, it's never too early.
Oh, no. And the outfield playing deep, aim for those shallow pockets as Garth fouls it off for a strike. And his first at-bat, he kind of reminded me a little bit of Campus. He was one of those guys that was not scared to swing the bat. And that's always admirable to see because we've seen a lot of batters that are timid at the plate. I remember one guy we saw last year that was like that a lot was Nate Johnson.
Yeah.
He let a lot of pitches go past him, and a lot of times he struck out because of it. But if it's anywhere near the zone, take a swing. The worst-case scenario, it's a foul ball or you get a fly out. I'm sure Jamestown wishes they would have just one out on the board for a chance for a sac fly, but the next pitch was outside, evening the count 1-1. And Garth, he does have 4 RBIs on the season. This one's going to be grounded over to short, fielded cleanly. Throw to first, that's in time. So a missed opportunity there for Jamestown, leaving Guggen stranded at third. Score remains 1-0 with 4 innings done here at Dietrich. 5th inning coming up after this on WRFA.
For the safety of your children and pets, whenever cleaning your home, always keep cleaning
playing
solutions
no
with other
doubles
chemicals
both
such as pesticide, where only you can get
With
it
a
back.
runner on
Never
third
store
and 2
chemicals
outs.
in
Yeah.
anything once used
I see
for
that
food
Caesar
or
Crow.
drink.
Yeah, that's what I
Don't
thought.
use chemicals unless you're following specific directions, as this can produce hazardous fumes.
Sorry, my
If you or a
handwriting isn't
family member
exactly
might
the
be
best.
poisoned, get help immediately by calling 911. This safety message is brought to you from the Chautauqua Healthy Housing Coalition.
You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball, right here on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the 5th about to start here with Niagara up 1-0 over Jamestown. Batters up are the 9, 10, and 1 hitters. So Fairbrother, Zimian, and back to the top with Morris.
Fairbrother in his last at-bat had a fly ball to, looks like the left fielder. My handwriting isn't the best, Norm. I just talked to you about that, so I think that's a 7 there. That was a bit of a long ball. For a second, I thought that might have gone out, but it was caught. And guess there's not much more to talk about, I guess,
Nah.
It looked good off the bat.
All I know is, though, as Fairbrother's about to come up to bat, you and I, when it comes to penmanship, we're solar opposites. Because you say yours isn't the best. If you take a look at mine, mine's kind of, few people jokingly say like a 15-year-old girl.
Well, 15-year-old girls they have good handwriting.
Well, here's the next pitch by Berta, and it's low and outside for a ball. Fairbrother, he flew out the right in his first at-bat.
Oh, that was a 9, not a 7.
Next pitch, low and inside, ball 2. So 2-0 count. Next pitch by Berta. That one inside, ball 3.
Coming in out of the bullpen and only pitching to one batter is tough for the next inning that you pitch because you're so used to throwing all these pitches and then you're sitting down for however long as he throws a strike on the outside corner to make it a 3-1 count.
So he is able to avoid the 4-pitch walk.
I gotta say, those 4-pitch walks are so demoralizing when you're on the mound.
Next pitch outside, ball 4. So Fairbrother will take the free pass the first. And now it'll be Zimian who hit a single in his first at-bat.
5-pitch walks are pretty bad too, but not as bad as the 4-pitch ones.
Once again, though, power up 1-0. Next pitch on the way by Berta. It's a bunt by Zimian. Berta fields it. Throw to first. Just in time. Fairbrother does head to second with 1 out, and we're back to the top of the order with Billy Morris, in his last at-bat, he grounded into a double play with the bases loaded. It was a 4-6-3.
I ought to say that play at first looked a lot closer than I thought it would be. I didn't get a good look at it, but I thought he might have been there.
But now a runner advances scoring position. Here's Berta's next pitch. It's going to be a grounder. Thompson slides to make the grab. Here's the throw to first in time. Out number 2. And to boot, Fairbrother stays put at second, and now it'll be Zach Evans, the shortstop.
Beautiful play from the third baseman. Beautiful play with the diving stop. Comes up quick and just fires it across the diamond to get the out. And he was out by a couple of strides. Not something that every baseball player can do over there.
So Berta's got a chance for another shutout inning. Here's the next pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. Evans, he's 1 for 2 so far. He has singled and also grounded out.
After a rocky start to the inning, Berta seems to be finding his bearings.
Taking a check at Fairbrother. Here's the next pitch outside, 1-1. Again, Fairbrother, he is one of the vets for Niagara. Not known to steal bases. He doesn't have any so far this year.
I know last year he had a few stolen bases. I think he got the total up to 5.
Yeah, usually first baseman, because that's what he usually plays, they're not really known to steal bases. Examples MLB, former player-wise, Paul Konerko, he had less than 10. David Ortiz, when he never played DH, he usually played first.
Big Poppy. I don't think he stole 1 base.
He had like 14. Another guy was Jason Giambi. He wasn't known for his blazing speed. He was more known for his bat and also a scandal involving enhancing his hitting ability, as the next pitch was outside for a 3-1 count. Should Evans get walked, Jackson Strong is on deck. It is a 3-1 count. It's the hitter's count.
Maybe a hit and run on here.
Berta's next pitch fouled off. Fouled off, and the count goes full. So usually with the 2 strikes and 2 outs, the runners on base usually start hustling.
Yeah, lots of plays you can do with a 3-2 count with runners on. Of course, they're not forced to go, so they're not going to be stealing.
Oh no, it wouldn't be either way. It'd either be a walk or a possible strikeout or even a grounder or flyout. There's many possibilities. But here comes the payoff. Ball 4. Evans gets walked. Second walk issued in the last 4 batters faced for Berta. And his walk to strikeout ratio wasn't spectacular coming in. 3 walks to 4 strikeouts, as now it'll be Jackson Strong, who's 0 for 2. He has struck out and also flown out. And I remember I said this to you last year. Usually, I think the target range for the ratio, it should at least be 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 is pretty good. But nowadays, you are seeing a lot more strikeouts and you are seeing a lot more walks. As that ball was, I believe, inside for ball 1. Pitching in general is tough to just hit that small zone, but batting is tough too, I guess, as that ball is chopped a couple feet foul towards first base. So I'm not surprised with how many walks I've seen today, but I'm also a little bit surprised because normally you see a lot of people eager to prove some scouts that they can hit, so they're swinging and missing, but who knows?
Yeah, it's Strong. He came into the game batting .423. He's now under 400 as the next pitch was inside for a ball.
Gotta say, that pitch looks pretty good.
One of those ones that could have gone either way, but it goes towards the batter. So count 2-1, 2 outs, runners on first and second. Here's Berta's next pitch. Inside, ball 3. Berta in danger of issuing back-to-back walks. Morrow would be the next batter should Strong get the free pass. And Strong, his walk to strikeout, or 2-1, 4 walks to 8 strikeouts coming in. But it's going to be another walk here. Bases loaded with 2 outs, and now it'll be Vincent Morrow, the third baseman.
Thompson showing some leadership here, makes a couple of steps towards Bird on the mound. Maybe giving some words of encouragement, some words that I never got when I pitched for my teammates. They always just made fun of me if I walked a couple batters. All in the joking way, though, don't worry.
They probably go, get it together, man.
Yeah,
or,
I know.
Or if they want to throw a classic line at you, you're killing me, Smalls. As this one is fouled off over the top of the of the bleachers for strike one.
Right next to the gift shop. I love that gift shop. So many cool things.
I remember last season there was a foul ball that Campus hit that actually broke a picture. It broke a frame. Next pitch inside, 1-1.
Yeah, that was fun. I remember that.
Yeah, you and I were on call for that game.
We just hear glass, and then we hear more glass from the PA system. It's like, oh, that's a little weird.
1-1 pitch, and that's going to go into right field base hit. One run will score, and it's going to be Evans getting sent home. Here's a throw to Middleman, and he's out. But because the first runner scored before the third out happened, the run will count. Niagara does extend their lead to 2-0 with 4.5 now played here at Dietrich. And once again, Max, when you're ready, when you're done with that scorecard, I'm going to shift it over to you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to remind each and every one of you guys that support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball is brought to you in part by Chautauqua, County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses, and it also promotes the retention and expansion of existing businesses. It also offers businesses assistance in the forms of tax abatements, low-interest loans, and bond financing, all of which will enhance the opportunities for job creation and retention across Chautauqua County. The Chautauqua County IDA, a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 716-661-8900 or visit ccida.com. And it looks like we got a beautiful game of pizza toss going down right next to the third baseline.
And both players in that competition, they get to walk away with a Tarp Skunk beanie, baby. I remember I used to have a little collection of those when I was a kid. They were those little teddy bears, and they were the ties, and it would have their name on it and a little message if you flip the label open, because it'll usually be attached to one of the paws. That takes me back to when I was like 7, 8 years old.
Beanie Babies are a bit old. Older than me, I think.
They're older than both of us.
Yeah, they're
But the batters due up for Jamestown, though, 5 through 7, Thompson, Servia, and Wallace. And a Duddle about to get another inning of work here. And again, when it comes for anybody that's not too certain, when it comes to 9-inning baseball, you got to have at least 5 innings pitched in a start to be credited for the win. But the thing is for Gilman, the most he could get possibly is a no decision.
Yeah.
But again, the run that was scored by them, it was an unearned run. But should it hypothetically hold up to 2-0, Gilman would still be charged with the loss.
Yeah, and that's not something that you really enjoy seeing. It would be kind of cool if they gave the loss to the reason for the unearned run. Like, the second baseman gets the loss. His first loss of the campaign is that pitch was a brushback pitch to Thompson to start off the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, so far, this game had about a 1-hour delay, but it's going by pretty quickly. We've only had about an hour and 20 minutes of action as the next pitch is outside for a ball, making the count 2-0. So Thompson, he's looking for his first hit. He grounded out in his first one 5-3. Swung on and missed for a strike, making it 2-1.
If you recall correctly, Gilman's 50th pitch was in the 2nd inning.
Yes, it was.
And a Duddle just hit 51 with that last swing and miss.
2-1, broken bat, but it goes over to short, fielded cleanly there by Evans. Throw to first, and he's safe, foot off the bag. And it was clear because Brazier had to jump up a little bit to make the catch. His foot was off the bag, and that's a break for Jamestown. That's going to I would assume that be ruled an E6 because the throw was a tad high to where Brazier had to jump up for it a little bit.
Yeah, he was up in the air. I'm not sure if he made the right call there. I thought he got back to the base before Thompson did, my bad. But he made the call. It is an error on the shortstop with a bit of a high throw. But now Sevilla has a chance as he takes strike one.
Yeah, and the steal department, though, for Thompson, again, as a team, they got 40 stolen bases on the year. Thompson's got 3.
Taking about a 6-foot lead here.
Yeah, it's a decent lead off the bag. Next pitch outside, 1-1.
I always wondered how difficult it is when there's a broken bat to field the ground ball like that play that Thompson hit, as that ball is roped into the general admission section.
Yeah, not a lot of people in the general admission, a lot of them in the grandstands. Again, in the grandstands, they got the nylon netting for some extra protection, but the count is 1-2. Thompson on first.
I'm not sure a lot of people came by because they didn't think that there was going to be a game.
For some reason, they're calling that a hit and an error for some reason, but that was more of an error. But here's a steal, and he's caught. So talk about a strike him out, throw him out there, and it backfires. So they go from 1 on and nobody out to nobody on and 2 out. So another missed opportunity for Jamestown, and I've seen already that they've missed quite a few throughout the season. Even in their 14-6 win over Geneva, that game should have had a lot more runs. They should have had 18, 19 at the rate they were going. But now it's going to be Aiden Wallace, the DH. He did get on a walk, but he was also caught trying to go to second as there's a close shave right there for ball 1. No Barbasol needed for that one.
Yeah, I always hated the strike him out, throw him out. It looked like Thompson had a bit of a late jump, like he wasn't sure what was going on. As the belt and the pitch is a foul ball going through the lighting fixtures next to the grandstand. That one might have hit a car on Faulkner Street. Who knows, though?
Well, you didn't hear any glass or anything denting, but O'Donnell's got a chance for his third 1-2-3 inning in the last 4. And it would be his second one in the unconventional style. Next pitch is low and outside for a ball, making it 2-1.
Getting up to 62 pitches here. A lot fewer pitches than Gilman on the other side of the ball.
And here comes the 2-1. That one just a bit outside, but nobody on base, so no harm, no foul. Makes it count 3-1. And Wallace, he was walking his first at-bat. He's about to possibly be walked again. And should he get on base, Cooper Monroe is on deck, the first baseman.
It's almost like they're pitching around him. I think they're a little bit scared of him. All the pitches are either really inside or really outside.
Next one is low, ball 4, so 2 plate appearances and 2 walks for Wallace. And now it will be the Iron Giant of the team, the Gigantor, in Cooper Monroe.
Cooper Monroe in his last at-bat chopped it right back up the pipe. First pitch, 1-3 put out, leading off the at-bat.
And he came really close to an infield single on that one, too.
Yeah, he was out by about a half a step.
Here comes the next pitch, and outside corner, strike 1. And Monroe actually was at bat in the bottom of the second, but on a bad pitch, Wallace tried going to second base, and he got nailed. So technically, the team so far 0 for 2 in steals. Very uncharacteristic. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off, strike 2.
And that was a beautiful swing, power hack. I think he was trying to break a window, maybe one of those cars in the parking lot or even Hillside Suites itself. He was trying to put that one to the moon.
To the moon, Alice, to the moon. So far, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts in 4 2/3 for O'Donnell. 1 strike away from another shutout inning and 5 innings of quality work. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, caught looking, strike 3. 4th strikeout of the game for O'Donnell, and Monroe gets caught looking at the pitch. That's 5 complete innings now here at Dietrich. Scoring out still 2-0 in favor of Niagara. 6th inning coming up. Do stick around right here on WRFA.
WRFA Arts on Fire live series continues on Thursday, June 15th with a performance by Charity News and Friends. Be part of the live studio audience as we welcome Charity News, a multi-talented singer-songwriter known for her signature powerhouse vocals, psychedelic mandolin style, and captivating stage presence. Her band consists of Jeremy Bunt, Sarah Rafalowski, and Jim Sturdivant. The performance will take place Thursday night, June 15th at 7 p.m. with doors opening at 6 p.m. Refreshments will be available prior to the start of the show. It'll be streamed live on YouTube and also broadcast on a future episode of WRFA's weekly arts and entertainment series, Arts on Fire. Only a limited number of tickets are available for just $12. To purchase tickets for Charity News and Friends on June 15th, visit redgrenade.com, WRFALP.com, or look for the event listing on WRFA's Facebook page. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball right here on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
And we're about to start the top of the sixth here with Niagara up 2-0 over Jamestown. Berta due to get another inning of work. Brazier, Johnson, and Glinski up to bat. And once again throughout this game, Norm Rodriguez along with last year's intern and coming back for a few games with me again this year, Max Pinjator, as it's going to again be Brazier up to bat, 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, not doing good today. Definitely not par for the course for him. He is doing pretty good at the dish as he ropes one to right field shallow coming in, and it is a jumping catch. Not sure if he needed to for Garth, but 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, him making that catch, you might as well crank up Bohemian Rhapsody and headbang with his crew of friends in the car. But Johnson, he has been a thorn in Jamestown's side tonight. He has singled, he has walked, he's also scored one of the team's 2 runs, and in his last at-bat, he was left at third as the next pitch was outside for a ball.
Yeah, it just seems like he has the number. He's got Berta's number, and he definitely had Gilman's number, so.
And there is a pitcher warming up in the bullpen right now. It's Jason Mazik, number 40, that's warming up in the bullpen as the next pitch was low and outside for ball 2, making the count 2-0. Here comes the next pitch by Berta. It's going to be a grounder. Fielded. No, it's going to be mishandled there by Bendeck. And that's going to be his 2nd error of the game and the 3rd one for Jamestown. And the mistakes and missed opportunities piling up here for the Skunks. This is not like them when they play at home, but it's the 3rd error of the game, and Johnson gets on base for the 3rd time in a 3rd different way, though it will be credited as an at-bat against him on that one. It's an E4 again. That's Bendeck's 2nd error of the game, and next pitch low for a ball. And when you're one of those bench players that gets to see a start, you have to make the most of your opportunities. And when you commit 2 errors in the infield, that doesn't help your cause.
No, it does not, especially when one of them was a ground ball like that, and the other one was earlier in the game. It actually brought in the first run as that ball was low and inside for ball 2. He dropped the initial throw on a possible double play as swung on miss for strike 1 for Glinski, the catcher for the Power.
Yeah, and Glinski, like 3 batters have had for the Power tonight, got on base on an error earlier in the game. It actually helped drive in a run in the 2nd, and he's also grounded out. This one's going to drop into shallow left for a base hit. So runners on 1st and 2nd with just 1 out, and now it's going to be Pallister, the right fielder.
With 1 out, runner on 1st and 2nd. A lot of wacky things can happen for Berta here on the mound. He's asking for a new ball, doesn't like the wetness that the frozen rope to left field gave him. He's got a lot on his plate right now with runner in scoring position, so let's see how he can work out of it. Runner's going. Check swing at the plate. Throw it on to 3rd. He is out at 3rd base. Caught stealing.
I don't know why they didn't try doing a double steal there, have both runners go, but the top two bases that are the hardest to steal are third and home plate.
I think he was supposed to be a double steal, but I guess one guy didn't get the memo.
Well, Glinski is the catcher. Catchers aren't really known for taking off, as the next pitch is at the heart of the plate for a strike.
Well, I hope he wouldn't be so slow that it would be a double play on a double steal.
But Skunks fans, we're at the top of the hour. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown, New York. As the next pitch was inside, nearly got him in the funny bone there, making the count 1-2.
That was a hot shot. Scared me up here.
And again, Jason Mazik is warming up in the bullpen for Jamestown. Here's Berta's next pitch, fouled off. And you probably could have swung that back to the pitcher with an oar.
I reached for it.
But you had the case of going up that river without a paddle. But count stays 1-2.
Yeah, I promised I'd protect you.
Well, I'm more closer to the ball than you were. Next pitch outside, 2-2. Triple deuces on the board. 2-2 count, 2 outs. And Berta, he's got a chance for another shutout inning. He gets a sign from Middleman. Here's the 2-2. It's going to be a chopper. Bendeck gets it, throw to first, and that one's in time. So 5.5 innings complete here at Dietrich. Niagara still ahead, though, 2-0. And once again, Maximus shifted over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Norm. After that, lovely ground out to Bendick. I'd like to remind you guys that support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Chautauqua Institution. Chautauqua Institution, a community on the shores of Chautauqua Lake that comes alive each summer with a unique mix of fine and performing arts, including theater and musical entertainment, along with lectures, interfaith worship and programs, and recreational activities. The 2023 season features Natalie Merchant, Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, The Revivalist, Band of Horses, Straight No Tracer, Snarky Puppy, Trombone Shorty, Mavis Staples, and more. Chautauqua Institution. For more information, call 1-800-836-ARTS or visit discover.chq.org. And Norm, back to you.
Max, as always, thank you very much. As a Duddle about to get a 6th inning of work here, and honestly, it's well earned. He's only allowed 2 hits, and he's also struck out 4 batters, and he has yet to allow a run. And again, coming into the start, a Duddle, he only had 1 earned run and a 1.80 ERA. He's lowered that down, I think, to at least around the 1.13 and lower mark going into the 6th inning. Or it could even be under a 1 as of right now. But the batters due up are 9 through 1, Middleman, Bendeck, and Catalano. All right, taking a look at the board, though, I still think the Skunks only have 1 hit. I think it got mistaken for one of the errors, or the error that Niagara had. Unless they decide to call that a hit and an error, but I do believe a Duddle's just held them to just 1 hit, and that was the leadoff batter in the bottom of the 1st in Catalano, his single.
Yeah, it has been a while since we've seen a Tarp Skunks hit. Middleman, though, got a good chance to get a hit. He's got a nice average of around 283, it looks like, or 286. Of course, he's had 2 at-bats so far with no fruit bearing from it, so it's probably at around a 270, 275, I'd say.
Well, I think he lowered it down to a 250 because he was 2 for 7. In his 1 at-bat, he grounded out, making it 2 for 8.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that would be a 250.
I
Yeah.
remember you corrected me a couple times last season with some decimal point stuff and whatever, but I did tell you I was never the greatest at math. I remember when I was in algebra, it was like a foreign language to me.
I will say, yeah, I'm forgetting how early in the season we are. So I'm forgetting that, 2 out of 8 is some pretty easy math. But anyways.
Yeah, fractions were a nightmare for me too. Oh, man. I remember learned that in 5th grade, but here's a Duddle's next pitch. That is low, ball 1.
Yeah, I hope my my math teacher dad isn't watching me right now. That would be a little bit embarrassing, as Middleman did take that first pitch for a ball.
This one's going to be a chopper over to Morris. He fields it without a hitch and gets it over to Brazier in time for a quick out, number 1. And now it'll be Bendeck. He grounded out 5-3 in his first at bat. Hey, how about that for a walk-up? A little samba, a little merengue.
Based on my calculations, that was the 5th, or there have been 5 at-bats that only lasted 1 hit, or 1 pitch for the Tarp Skunks
Yeah,
today.
that one
And
lasted 2.
Yeah, that one was not 1 pitch, but this game is going by pretty fast, as that was a ball.
Can't complain except for if the Skunks were ahead of this one. Another 2-pitcher. That one goes over to short and thrown in time for the second out. Evans cleanly fields it and textbook 6-3 ground out. And now we're back to the top of the order with Catalano. He's got the only hit of the game for Jamestown. Ever since then, Duddle has been making business of these Skunks. He's making them, when they lift their tails up, instead of shooting the spray, they're shooting blanks.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it, Norm, as the first pitch is outside, mishandled by Glinsky behind the dish, but it doesn't matter because
nobody on,
so can't really call that a pass ball. He definitely could have caught that, but probably doesn't even care that much.
Well, here's Duddle's next pitch. That one low and inside 2-0, and Duddle, he's got a chance for his third 1-2-3 inning in the last 5. The most batters he has faced during that stretch was 4, and that was in the 4th and 5th inning. Next pitch is outside, ball 3. Should Catalano get walked, Googans is on deck.
Nobody warming up in the power bullpen, which is weird because he's at 74 pitches right now.
That's pretty low for 6 innings of work, or 5 2/3 roughly, as Catalano gets the free pass. That's Duddle's 4th walk issued of the game. So they'll live to get to see another at-bat in this inning, and it's going to be part of that Ivy League quartet. No bow ties and striped button-up shirts required for that. Just some suits and a possible briefcase in Tommy Googans. Jamestown, they're down to their last 11 outs. Even though it's the bottom of the 6th, the chances for them are starting to run a little dry. And from what we've seen with this drought of people getting on base, we're like Abbott and Costello trying to jump into that oasis, but it's a mirage in that hot desert. As the next pitch hit the outside corner for strike 1.
2 outs, 1 strike, 1 runner on. Not a lot you can do for the Tarp Skunks other than just try and keep the train rolling, get as many hits as you can, but it's tough to do that against a pitcher this dominant, as that ball was a little bit high, it looks like, for ball 1, evening the count to 1-1.
Catalano, he's got a decent-sized lead off of the bag, and he has 1 steal on the season. But here comes Duddle's next pitch. It's going to be a chopper over to Morris. He fields it cleanly, and another quick inning for Duddle as a throw to first in plenty of time, and 6 innings up and 6 innings down here at Dietrich, and Jamestown still in that 2-0 hole. 7th inning, though, coming up. Do stick around right here on WRFA.
WRFA's Arts on Fire Live Series continues on Thursday, June 15th, with a performance by Charity News and Friends. Be part of the live studio audience as we welcome Charity News, a multi-talented singer-songwriter known for her signature powerhouse vocals, psychedelic mandolin style, and captivating stage presence. Her band consists of Jeremy Bunce, Sarah Rapolowski, and Jim Sturdivant. The performance will take place Thursday night, June 15th at 7 p.m., with doors opening at 6 p.m. Refreshments will be available prior to the start of the show. It'll be streamed live on YouTube and also broadcast on a future episode of WRFA's weekly arts and entertainment series, Arts on Fire. Only a limited number of tickets are available for just $12. To purchase tickets for Charity News and Friends on June 15th, visit RegLene.com, WRFALP.com, or look for the event listing on WRFA's Facebook page. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball, right here on WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the 7th about to start here as the warm-up pitches by Berta are complete. Again, Mazik is warming up in the bullpen. I was kind of surprised they didn't put him in for the 7th inning, but maybe they're waiting to see how Berta does here in the 7th, or maybe shelve him till the 8th. But batters due up are 9 through 1, Fairbrothers, Simeon, and Morris. In Fairbrothers' last at-bat, he got walked and actually scored the 2nd run for Niagara. As Berta's next pitch is on the way, it's going to be a grounder over to Bendeck. He gets a clean feel, throws the first in time for the first out.
I gotta imagine that Bazil is just trying to give Berta a base runner. If he allows someone to get on base, that's when he'll give him the hook. But he's doing pretty good so far, so I can't imagine him pulling him this early.
Yeah, and I will say, even though they're down 2-0 as the next pitch is outside for a ball, both he and Gilman, they did really well in their appearances. It was just those errors by Jamestown, because one drove in a run, and without that error, this game could possibly be 1-0. As this is a grounder, and Thompson fields it. Throw to first, not in time. Runner safe. So credit Simeon with an infield single and send him on his way, or Zimmy on his way.
Definitely some good hustle, something you don't see a lot anymore. Hustle out of the box, just barely beating out the throw to first. Got it by about quarter of a second. Inspiring to me, seeing someone hustle that fast out of the box.
Yeah, the rule of thumb, even if it's a pop fly, you'll run it out because you never know if the infielder will drop it. A prime example of that is the first pitch is fouled off. I'm sure you remember this because I know you're a Yankee fan. They were playing the Mets. K-Rod was the closer for the Mets at the time.
He dropped the ball.
Luis Castillo. And he was actually a 2-time Gold Glove winner. He was no joke as an infielder, as the next pitch was low for a ball.
I remember that vividly.
Yeah, I think in 6th or 7th grade when that happened.
I just see all the TikToks about it and see all the stuff on Instagram.
Next pitch by Berta. This one's going into shallow center. Gagnon chasing it down. He'll make the catch for the 2nd out.
Definitely muscling that one as much as he could, but maybe he took too many bench presses this morning. If he was a little bit weaker, that would have fallen in shallow center, but, anything for the gain.
Necessarily you don't want to be a punch-and-Judy hitter.
I always thought about maybe if I did one more bench press, that one hit that I hit back in
here comes a game of picking in the middle. Simeon's caught. He is rung up. He has no steals on the season. He must have gotten caught too far off the bag, but we've got the 7th inning stretch. Score still 2-0. Bottom of the inning coming up, but Max, once again, over to you.
All right, thank you very much. I'd like to remind you all that support for WRFA Radio is brought to you in part by listeners like you. WRFA is a non-commercial, non-profit community radio station. Anyone who wants to make a donation of any amount can do so by simply clicking the donate button located on the menu bar of our website, WRFALP.com. It's fast and easy. Checks of any amount can also be made out to WRFA Radio and mailed to the radio station at 116 East 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York, 14701. Local businesses are also encouraged to make an underwriting contribution to WRFA. To learn more about becoming a station underwriter, email WRFA@regLene.com. If you enjoy this program, please consider making a donation or underwriting contribution today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Low power to the people, right on. Back to you, Norm.
That's the main catchphrase of the station, low power to the people. Right on as Duddle gets ready for another inning of work, and why not? He's held the Skunks just one hit. He's struck out 4. Even though it says 2 hits on the board, it is incorrect. It was just 1 hit because there was an error. So, batters due up for Jamestown is going to be 3 through 5. Gagnon, Garth, and Thompson due up. Gagnon, he has struck out looking in both of his at-bats, and that's the main problem. If you're too timid at the plate, eventually you may possibly get benched, but Gagnon's one of those guys that hasn't played a lot. Again, though, when you're a bench player and you're getting a start, you have to make the most of your opportunities. And when you're caught looking at 2 at-bats, or if you commit 2 errors, like two different Skunks players have. Gagnon with the 2 strikeouts looking and Bendeck with the 2 errors. It'll make the coach think, I'm going to keep him sitting.
Yeah, strikeouts has definitely played Gagnon's at-bats. He's had 12 at-bats. Prior to this game, he just doubled his strikeout total. He had 2 in those 12 at-bats. So now, hopefully, he can just try and put the ball in play for once. Don't want to give him the hat trick. Especially don't want to give him the golden sombrero if he comes back in the 9th inning.
I know you and I both remember the master of the golden sombrero as Gagnon swings and misses for a strike. I think the master of that, Chris Davis.
Yeah.
Not the guy that played for the Oakland A's, the one that played for the Orioles.
Yeah.
He could either hit a home run or strike out. One guy that's like that right now, Joey Gallo. He can't even bat 200. He makes Mario Mendoza look like a Hall of Famer. Ex-Nay, the 2 All-Star appearances and the 2 Gold Gloves. The reason why he was a 2-time All-Star is those home runs he hits. Besides that, there's hardly anything. The well's dry. But Gagnon 0-2 as he fouled off the last pitch. Here's Adele's next one. Outside, 1-2. I know Gagnon's looking to avoid the hat trick.
Yeah, I never liked getting the hat trick. I only got it a couple times in my career, but it's just so debilitating, demoralizing, anything you want to say about it.
This one fouled off, a hot shot going over the top of the bleachers and near the tent, keeping the count 1-2.
That was a rope.
Another 1-2 pitch coming up for a Duddle. Outside 2-2. I thought that Gagnon was going to get rung up on that one. It was there, but the count evens his jersey number 2-2.
Glinsky definitely thought that was on the black. He was going to throw down to third for the throw it around after an out.
Well, here's the 2-2. That one fouled off. Or no, they're calling it strike 3 on a swing as it went through Glinsky's glove. So that's going to be a hat trick for Kieran Gagnon. 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. This time, though, at least he could keep his head high on that he actually took a hack at it.
You know, if I was a bit of a meaner individual, I'd throw my hat down to the turf, but
nah, you don't want to do that
because
because
nice, yeah.
I'm sure you and I both remember Yadier Molina when he got out against the Giants. He threw his helmet down. The first base ump hastily ejected him. Then he ejected Mike Matheny, the then manager. Here's the next pitch to Garth. Hot shot going into, but first Plinko's into the lights. The price is wrong, Bobby, and goes into the Skunk bullpen for a strike. And again, Mazik is warming up in the bullpen for them. We might see him in the top of the 8th.
I think that was on track to hit Mazik. I think he better be thanking that Plinko action as it was swung on and missed for strike 2 by Garth.
So far in Garth's 2 at-bats, he has struck out and grounded out. I think he's trying to go for the love boat with a dinger, but instead he's feeling the breeze and eating Swiss cheese. Here's the pitch. That's a chopper over to first. Fielded there by Brazier to throw to the pitcher in time for the second out. So an uncommon 3-1 ground out.
Anyone trying to keep score at home, yeah, that is a 3-1 putout. But the first out of the at-bat from Gagnon, the first out of the inning, that is a forward-facing K and a 2-3 putout if any of you guys want to become an official scorer or a caster like us.
Here's the next pitch by a Duddle, and that got him. Hits Thompson in the back.
Oh, toss him blue.
So first hit by pitch by any of the pitchers we've seen tonight. There was a game actually earlier in the season, the Skunks, and it was a game against Niagara in the Kids' Day game. 8 walks were issued and 5 batters were hit. But it's going to be Alex Servia, the extra hitter up the bat. He has grounded out and struck out in his 2 appearances.
If I were Thompson, I'd go. I don't care if I got the steal sign. I'd just go.
You're down to your last 7 outs. You got to come up with something.
No, I mean, I just got plunked. My
Swing
back
and a miss,
hurts.
strike 1.
My back hurts. I want to prove myself.
Yeah. Well, at least it wasn't shades of Roger Dorn there where there's the pitch runner and he goes, no!
Oh, he's gotten a bit of an extra lead here, and
He's
he is
taking
going.
off. It's going to be a swing over to short. Evans fields it. Throw to first in plenty of time. So Another quick inning of work for Brian Aduddle, and score still 2-0. 7 innings complete. Jamestown running out of chances, but we still got the 8th inning coming up. Do stay tuned right here on WRFA.
The Jamestown Tarp Skunks will return to the airwaves on WRFA-LP for a third straight season in 2023. All Tarp Skunks home games are being broadcast right here on 107.9 FM, as well as streaming worldwide at the station's website, WRFALP.com. In addition, the Tarp Skunks will provide the in-game broadcast for all home games on their YouTube channel, Video Stream. Our 2023 coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is made possible through funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Chautauqua Institution, and Schultz Auto Group. For a complete broadcast schedule, visit the Tarp Skunks page on the WRFA website or check out our event schedule on Facebook. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball right here on WRFA-LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown.
Top of the 8th about to start here, and it's another call to the bullpen for the Skunks. It's number 40, Jason Mazik, coming in with the score still 2-0. And Max, I know you've got the stat sheet in front of you, so Mazik did appear in the game against Geneva last week in their 14-6 win, but how is he doing so far as a reliever?
He only had 1 2/3 of an inning pitched with 1 run earned. So not exactly great. That is a 5.4 ERA. He did allow 2 walks and looks like no hits, so that's pretty good. And he did get the win, so good for him. He's got a clean record, but definitely could have done better with the amount of walks. Got the strikeout. He's got 1 strikeout, so he's got the opposite of the 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio that we like. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he can do it today. He's got some nice heat to him, and he's got some nice break to his off-speed pitch. So.
Oh, yeah. And the last game he appeared in, I actually broadcasted it with one of the interns from the first season of this program, and Colin Wood. And I'll say this to you, too, because I said this to Colin. Looking at Mazik's size, he makes me think of Liam Hendricks.
Yeah.
He's got the height. He's got the burliness.
I was almost going to say CC Sabathia, but yeah.
Sabathia had more of the.
Yeah. More of the pudge.
Yeah. Yeah. But ever since he retired, though, he looks great.
Yeah.
He's lost a lot of weight.
I saw something. He lost 100 pounds, but in losing 100 pounds, he also lost 10 miles an hour to his fastball. So he just, like that spring training, he just put all the 100 pounds back.
Oof.
So, I mean, good for him for
knowing
how he.
When he pitched, he was 300 pounds, but he was also 6'7". But he, honestly though, I would say because that with Bartolo Colon at that size as a swing and a miss, it's Evans, Strung, and Morrow due up. Evans up the bat. He walked in his last one, and he's also singled. So count 0-1. And here's Mazik's next pitch. Fouled off, strike 2. And I'll say this, though. When you get a chance, unless you already have in your past, look up a picture of Bartolo Colon when he was a Cleveland Indian, before they were the Guardians, the Indians, and take a look at him when he was a Met. And even, like, in between, because he went from being, like, fairly thin to looking like he was about to go on The Biggest Loser.
I think you figured out how he can get some speed on his fastball that way, so I think that might be something that helped out. But
yeah, well, the last pitch was in the dirt, making it 1-2, but his claim to fame will forever be that home run against the Padres.
Yeah, that's something you like to see.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. Count stays the same. I remember one of my friends and I, we were joking about it. We would have loved to see him hit a triple or even hit for the cycle. You know, one of the slowest base runners in MLB history actually did hit for the cycle at one point. Yadier Molina's brother, Benji. Mm-hmm. He did it with the Rangers, and it was against the Red Sox. And his home run in it was a grand slam. Though I like to call it the grand salami. But another 1-2 pitch on the way. Fouled off again.
I do like the midnight blue of the Bob Ross sky we have here.
Yeah, get some of that phthalo blue, the alizarin crimson, and paint some little crisscross strokes.
You know, I did a Bob Ross date with my partner about a month back. That was fun. We're not good at painting.
You know,
but,
he actually did the perm to save money on haircuts.
Yeah?
1-2 pitch. It's going to be a grounder. Thompson will field it. Throw to Monroe in time for the first out.
Brilliant 5-3 put out there. It was a bit of a battle by Evans. That's something that he's been doing all day. Every one of his at-bats, except for his second at-bat, has gone deep into counts at least more than 5 pitches each at-bat. So he's got that plate vision down. He's got the bat barrel accuracy down. He can do a lot of stuff. As that ball was swung and missed.
Looked like he was trying to abort the check swing, then he went all the way around.
Yeah, and that sounded like there was a motorcycle
Yes,
out on
it was.
Faulkner Street. So
Yep, so Jackson Strong is up. He got walked in his last at-bat. He's also flown out and struck out. Again, he came in batting over 400. He was 11 of 26 on the year, but first Middleman going to have a quick discussion with Mazik.
maybe miscommunications with the signs, maybe
Yeah.
possibly some sort of injury going on.
I wouldn't say injury, maybe miscommunication, but in my experience broadcasting games for the Skunks, and this one actually being my 51st now, there's only been one complete game by a Skunks pitcher that I've seen here at Dietrich, and it was a one-hitter by Jack Laird. That was back in the first year of this program, as the next pitch is skipped from the plate to in between Middleman's legs a la Bill Buckner, making it a 1-1 count.
I don't think that pitch was what Middleman went out to talk about. I think that they were trying to do something a little bit different there.
Yeah,
but
he might as well have to be Jack Parkman talking to Vaughn about they're hammering this slow stuff. Next pitch, though, is low, making it 2-1. Yeah, no other pitchers warming up for either side, so we'll probably see a Duddle for the 8th inning.
we do got some pitchers and catchers doing a little bit of stretching, so we might be seeing a complete game, but we might not be.
That one low and inside, ball 3, making it 3-1.
I can't imagine them giving a complete game to a Duddle if it is a save situation. I'm not sure who their
They only have one save on the year, and it's by Morris. Morris actually saw action in the Kids Day game as this pitch is swung on the green light, and this could be extra bases. Strong is going to head to second. Gagnon feels it. Here's a throw, and it's a wide one, but luckily Mazik is right there to field it. So Strong with a stand-up double, his first hit of the game, and the first extra base hit of the game as well.
Good hit by Strong, putting it into the gap opposite field. Not something that everyone can do, but that was just a nice gapper. It didn't have the distance to go to the track. It got cut off a little bit, probably about 30 yards or 20 yards short of the track, but good hit nonetheless. Definitely a stand-up double is good in anyone's book.
Mazik checking on Strong at second. Here's his next pitch. Outside ball 1, and Vincent Morrow is up to bat. He actually had an RBI single in his last one, but the catch is on that. There was also, it did drive in Fairbrother, but also Zach Evans got nailed trying to get the home plate. That was back in the 5th. And here comes the 1-0. That one low and outside, 2-0.
I wouldn't be surprised seeing the runner in motion here.
Yeah, an insurance run does not hurt, because if you're up just by 2 runs, you don't want to get too comfortable or complacent.
Complacency is the biggest enemy of baseball teams in the league.
2-0 pitch coming from Mazik, taking a check at second. Outside again and low, 3-0. So far, Mazik in this appearance looking a little shaky. He did start off with a forced ground out by Evans, but since then he's allowed that double, and he's in danger of issuing a 4-pitch walk. Here's the 3-0. Right at the heart of the plate, strike one. That's what the doctor ordered.
I'm going to go ahead and say that he had the red light at the plate. I think he was expecting a 4-pitch walk.
Doesn't hurt to let the 3-0-1 go by you.
Yeah.
Because you're still ahead in the count. It's a hitter's count at 3-1 with just the one out. A good base hit could drive home strong. Here's the 3-1. That one outside and low, ball 4.
It definitely looked like he was about to swing out of his shoes for that pitch, but he definitely made the right choice in not swinging, as that was ball 4. Now we got a runner on first and second with one man gone. Double play ball still in the cards. Thompson might be just inching a couple feet forward to maybe get that elusive 5-3 double play.
So Brazier up the bat, and so far he's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. This one is hit the center. Gagnon chasing it down, had to run a bit of distance. He does make the catch. Strong's going to tag up for third. The throw is cut off by Bendeck, and now it's going to be a runner on third with 2 outs, and now it's going to be Brett Johnson, the center fielder. Again, Johnson, he's been the teaser for Jamestown. He has singled, he has scored a run, but they did also catch him stealing, though, too.
I got to say, this stadium, this field is so big.
It is.
342 to right field foul pole, and then 325 to left field.
And then 414 in dead center.
It, like, in other ballparks, especially probably in Niagara, that one might have been gone. That one just carried for so long, and then it just stopped.
Yeah, usually collegiate league parks are roughly 250, 300 feet. Runner goes. Here's the pitch. It's a ball, and Middleman will wisely pocket it. And I think that was the right decision because that throw would have been nowhere near in time. So that's going to be a stolen base for Morrow. And now runners are going to be on second and third. And stat-wise for Morrow in the base department, that's his second steal of the year. The next pitch is fouled off, evening the count 1-1.
One count, a lot of things to do. 2 outs, maybe not a lot of things to do. Probably an off-speed pitch is coming in here, trying to get something in the dirt, something easily playable. You don't want to mess with anything, especially in right field, pretty shallow.
Next pitch is outside and low, making the count 2-1.
Masick is definitely kind of spiraling here. This is about to be his 25th pitch of the inning. And hopefully he is trying to stick with the 0 in the ERA column as he throws another ball, ball 3.
Yes, so it's a hitter's count here, 3-1, and it's a high possibility Masick will issue his second walk of the inning. If he does, the bases will be loaded. And not only that, it'll be Glinski, the catcher, that's up. He singled in his last at-bat, and Johnson is going to be walked for the second time tonight. So that will jam the bases, and now it'll be Glinski, the catcher, up the bat.
Surprised that Powell isn't going out to talk to Masick. It is a tough situation that they find themselves in. Bases juiced, 2 outs, down by 2. As that pitch is fouled, almost nailed a guy on the grandstand. Ooh, they might be coming down behind the nylon netting after that one. Saw it whiz right by their face.
Yeah, so count 0-1 after that hot shot foul.
We'll just give them a wave, make sure they're good. Yeah, they're all right.
Next pitch, low and outside again, ball 1. So 1-1 count, 2 outs, another foul ball with strike 2.
Almost hit the same guy? just hear some of my old teammates singing, "You got a piece of it, now get the rest of it."
Yeah, they don't want to have that case of Kit Hit or Die Kesey.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know what film that's off of.
Go ahead and remind me, please.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. It was Angels in the Outfield, 1994.
Okay, there we go.
So a strikeout there and another shutout inning in the books. Mazik gets through the jam and score means 2-0. Bottom of the 8th coming up, but first, Max, back to you.
Hey, thank you very much. I'd like to remind you guys that support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Reg Linnaeus Center for the Arts, the official license holder of WRFA Radio. Reg Linnaeus Center for the Arts is located in the heart of downtown Jamestown at 106 East 3rd Street. It offers comprehensive programming that inspires, educates, and empowers our community. Reg Linnaeus also offers rental of its facilities to the public, providing spaces for 12 to 1,200 guests. The most popular Movies at the Reg offers a safe and comfortable environment for patrons to watch a wide variety of films with food and beverages also available. For more information, visit reglinnae.com or call 716-664-2465. And Norm, a lot of things going through the minds of the Tarp Skunks going to this bottom of the 8th inning. 6 outs left, 2 runs to go. I got to check the win probability of this predicament that they find themselves in, but I don't.
Cue the next gen stats. But a Duddle, he's pitched a beauty. He's got 4 strikeouts, even though he's also walked some batters as well. And the batters due up are 7 through 9, Wallace, Monroe, and Middleman. And so I know the Skunks have been wanting to get stinky, but right now, the way it's going for them, they're like Pepe Le Pew if he got sprayed with perfume.
There we go. Yeah, that's not. They're just not producing. They got the one hit. Yeah, they got the one hit.
It's especially not like them at home.
Yeah, they've only got the one hit. They're doing errors. They're missing. They're just not making the routine plays look routine.
No.
And that's just not something that you can do, especially if you want to win at home against a team like Niagara.
Yeah, and Niagara, they're right behind them in second place. Last I checked, they were 4-2.
Yeah, they're 4-2, and now we got the 5-1-1. They would be like if the Tarp Skunks lose to the Power, they still would be in first place because of that tie.
A tie counts as half of a win.
So it would be 5-2-1 against 5-2. So I don't know how to do that, but we do look to have the closer getting loose in the Niagara Power bullpen in case. Well, a Duddle just keeps rolling through and sticks with the save situation.
Yeah, and in their roster, they have a lot of guys with the number 0, so it looked like it was number 3 that was possibly warming up. Next pitch in the dirt, ball 1, and so far for Wallace, in his 2 at-bats, he has walked both times, which shows great plate discipline. And actually coming into this game as a Duddle's about to throw his 1-0 pitch, and it's on the outside corner for strike 1. Taking a look at Wallace, he's 0 for 5 on the season, but he had walked twice, and he's added another 2 to that department. But he's still looking for his first hit of the season. Here's the 1-1. That one at the heart of the dish, strike 2.
And he did get caught stealing in his first at-bat. It was a pass ball drop, but it didn't squeak far enough away from the catcher. He was just gunned down at second base.
Well, here comes the next pitch. That one low and outside, evens the count at 2s. Again, Skunks down to their last 6 outs, and if they get shut out here tonight, it'll be just the second time since they became the Skunks they've been shut out at home. The other time happened last year against the Batavia Muck Dogs. I believe the final score was 7-0.
I believe I was there for that one, and that was not a fun game to commentate.
Yeah, Batavia owned them last season. They were 8-1 or 8-1 against them, and one of the losses was a walk-off walk. But here's the payoff pitch, fouled off. So we'll also see another one.
Good for him. Good for him. Way to stay alive.
Cue the Bee Gees.
Yeah, that's always the best thing to play at a baseball game.
Here's the payoff again. Fouled off again, so he'll get to see another pitch.
And that ball's coming back down and right off the lighting fixture.
Yeah, turning, like you said, the midnight blue. Might as well cue the Lou Graham track. Take 3 on the payoff pitch coming up here for Brian Aduddle. I'm sure he's wanting a 5th strikeout as here comes the payoff. Inside, ball 4. So 3 at-bats for Wallace. 3 times he's walked. Once, twice, 3 times a lady. But we're going to have a pinch runner coming over here for Wallace. And it's going to be number 43. And number 43 for them, I think it's possibly Christian Rush. He is number 0, but there's also, or no, I beg your pardon, it's Aiden Dunlap. Sometimes when there's a lot of players on a roster, it can be tricky to see to the bare eye. But again, it's Dunlap, the pinch runner here for Jamestown. And taking a look at the size of him, though, it's the first time we've seen him this year. I think he's got some wheels under him. You're down 2-0. I think within the next pitch or two to Monroe in this at-bat, he's going to be taken off. You're down 2-0. You got to have the momentum come back your way. You want to at least try and force that 10th inning. But it is Monroe up to bat, and
Dunlap already does have 1 stolen base on the year. I think he is a pinch runner as a pickoff move to first, but he is safe by a mile. Just trying to keep an eye on him.
yeah, so far they're 0 for 2 in stealing today.
As that pitch was swung on and missed. And again, I think Monroe is trying to make this game a tie game.
Yeah,
Like
he wanted to pull the Aaron Judge, but instead he pulled the Joey Gallo.
You just really don't like Joey Gallo, don't you?
Hey, I'm not a hater of him, but his batting average is horrible. He's batting under 200 for his career as he swings and misses again for strike 2 and putting the Swiss cheese on the sandwich.
Yeah, Monroe's going to have to choke up on the bat a little bit. 2 straight heaters, and he was the ball was in the catcher's mitt by the time his bat crossed the plane. So
yeah, even if it's a base hit into the outfield, it works. You got to start a rally. You don't necessarily need to hit a tying homer. As this one goes into center, but Johnson doesn't take a lot of steps. He'll make the easy catch for the 2nd out, and now it's going to be Middleman, the catcher. Well, no, beg your pardon, it's 1 out. It was incorrect on the board, but it got corrected.
And it looks like that Aduddle is done for the night.
Even so, he's pitched a beauty. He allowed the Skunks to just 1 hit. He struck out 4 batters, and 7 1/3 innings of shutout ball. And even though he's the opposing pitcher, I got to say, because you got to give credit where credit's due, job well done.
Giving him the clap off. I know no one here in Jamestown is going to clap for him, but we will. Allowing 1 run, or not 0 runs and 1 hit throughout 8 1/3 is just, or 7 1/3, my bad. That is just crazy.
And it appears we're still trying to see who the new pitcher is going to be. A lot of the numbers on the roster are 0. And even checking on point streak, it was the same thing. There was no jersey number next to some of these guys, but from my view, it appears to be number 38 for the power that's going to be coming in. But even so, again, Aduddle, a terrific performance. 7 1/3 innings of work, 4 strikeouts, just 1 hit allowed. And what's even better for him is 7 1/3 innings of running a donut shop. No runs allowed.
What number did you say?
It looked like it was 38 from my view.
No, I don't see it. I got a 37.
So we got full confirmation it is number 38, but we're not too sure who it is because the numbers on the roster and even on point streak are incomplete. I'm not too certain why, but sometimes it is what it is, but we'll work through it. The next batter due up for Jamestown is Middleman. Then it's going to be Bendeck and back to the top with Catalano. And Jamestown, they're down to their last 5 outs. They've got to get something going here.
And they do have something going on for them, and that is a runner on first base in the form of Dunlap, who is a speed threat, who honestly, this new mystery pitcher that goes by the name of number 38, he's got some heat to it, but not as fast as a Duddle was. Maybe slower by a couple of miles an hour. I think he might be going second pitch in this at bat.
Yeah, because you don't want to try right away because you never know how good his pickoff is.
And it's not even that. Like, second pitch, that'll catch him by surprise. Maybe even third pitch. I'm not sure. But you really want to go because you don't want a double play, especially by a catcher who is notoriously not the fastest guy on the team. So
No.
any ground ball in the infield might turn two for Middleman.
Yeah, he's grounded out 4-3 in both his at-bats. And, again, Skunks down to their last 5 outs. They've got to get something going. They've got to hit the urgency button as the first pitch is fouled off and hits off the middle of the press box for strike one.
That almost went in the same window that broke the painting or the picture, the glass.
Yikes.
Last year. That was – I eyed that down. I was waiting for it to happen again.
Dunlap's got a good lead off of first. Here comes the next pitch. Here we go. 5, 4, 3 double play. So the Power go around the horn to complete the bottom of the 8th inning with the score still 2-0. And we've got the 9th coming up. Niagara with a chance to put some insurance runs on. Stay tuned right here on WRFA.
Hi, I'm Jason Sample, WRFA LP station manager. Here to talk about
What did I say?
underwriting on WRFA.
What did I say?
People ask me all the time, what is underwriting? Well, it's similar to advertising, but since we are a non-commercial educational radio station, we have certain rules about the messages we produce for businesses who support us. We don't give prices for services or products, or calls to action like Stop In Today. We don't do comparison work like the
don't be so hard on us a
or the
little bit. I'm like,
cheapest.
dude, this
And
is
we
nice.
don't crowd our airwaves, so that
This
your
is big
business
boys.
message is heard. The goal of underwriting
long
on
as the owners
WRFA
and
is to
chiefs are
provide
happy with your
transparency to
art,
our
that's what
listeners
matters.
about where our funding comes from, while recognizing those businesses and organizations by name. along
Okay,
with
so it
details
appears to
like
be a new
who,
pitcher,
what, where,
and it
when.
is,
We also feature all
I think that's
underwriters on
Peterson.
our website and offer
No, it's not.
discounts to fellow nonprofits. To
28.
get your business or organization on the air with WRFA, contact me at WRFA@RegLene.com or call 716-664-2465 extension 209. Let me find the right fit for you on WRFA. This is Norm Rodriguez, voice of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks on WRFA-LP. Tune in for live play-by-play action for each home game right here on your community radio station. For a complete broadcast schedule, visit WRFALP.com/TarpSkunks. See you at the ballpark.
All right, top of the 9th inning starting here, and Niagara has a chance to pad their lead a little bit. They're up 2-0 as the Skunks make another call to the bullpen, this time from St. Louis, Missouri, and going to Drury University, a right-hander, number 28, Luke Fuller.
Yeah, and he is normally an outfielder for the Tarp Skunks, but he's getting the chance on the bump today. Can't wait to see what he has going on for him. Has he had a game yet on
Yes,
the
he
mound?
has. He worked 1 inning in a game. He allowed a hit, and he struck out 2 batters and has not allowed any runs. So ERA 0.000, a clean sweep. But the batters due up, it's going to be Pallister, Fairbrother, and Zimian. So the bottom of the order. And between these batters, they only have 2 hits, and they're by Zimian, 2 singles.
Yeah, Zimian's doing pretty well from the 10-hole. A lot of coaches like to put one of their better hitters in the the very bottom of the lineup, just to kind of have another leadoff hitter in a way. But I guess I'm a little surprised that the 10-hole hitter has 2 hits.
Well, here's Fuller's first pitch, and it's outside for a ball. And honestly, I got to say it's the right call to make that move to the bullpen because Mazik, he looked really shaky. Even though he didn't allow a run, he did issue a couple of walks. So might as well go with a fresh pitcher to avoid anything from going from 2-0 to possibly even higher.
Yeah, not only did he allow 2 walks, but he also allowed that double to Strong. I guess Strong was pretty strong.
Pun entirely intended. 2-0 pitch, upstairs, ball 3.
not the way you want to start your outing on the mound. 3 straight balls, possibly turning it into a walk right here.
Well, here's the 3-0. Upstairs, ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk. I believe that's the second one we've seen today. The other one was by Gilman. But now it's going to be Andrew Fairbrother. He's 0 for 2, but he has also walked and scored a run.
Pallister, like many other of the power, has not stolen a base, so not much of a threat out there.
Next pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1.
In fact, I actually might see, I wouldn't mind seeing a stolen base from Pallister over there on first. He's got a bit of a jumpy lead.
Well, here comes the next pitch. That one outside, 1-1. A little more than 2 hours of action here. I'd say that's pretty good with it, especially being that 52-minute delay because of the rain.
Yeah, it's not always fun having a 52-minute delay. It's not exactly good for the starting pitchers, but for a Duddle, it didn't even matter as that pitch was high and away for ball 2.
Makes the count 2-1. If I'm Niagara, it wouldn't hurt to try to steal a base. You do want to at least get one insurance run going into the bottom of the 9th.
But then again, with 0 outs, not much to risk.
True. But Middleman able to block the next pitch, making the count 3-1. And so far, 7 of the first 8 pitches that Fuller has thrown have been called outside of the strike zone. And he is in danger of walking back-to-back batters to start the inning. And that could be Niagara with a fork and a knife, salivating, waiting for that big play to stake.
And especially with the small ball approach, it almost looks like a dagger instead of a regular knife.
And that hits him.
Plunked in the back, and that's got to hurt.
So Fuller not off to a good start. A walk and a hit batsman, though it would have been ball 4 anyway. So now it's Alex Zimian. He's 2 for 3. He singled twice. He also had a sacrifice bunt to advance Fairbrother over to second, which was back in the 5th.
Looks like the outfield is playing shallow today as he fakes the bunt, or doesn't fake it, but just didn't like the pitch and pulled it back for ball 1.
I like the idea. Jamestown does have 3 errors tonight, and who knows, if there's a bad throw, you could drive home the runner at second.
And I think they're just trying to do a sacrifice, as that was a hit and run that was fouled backwards.
So counts even at 1s here, and there's even some batters that are pretty slick. As the pitch is thrown, they'll fake the bunt, and they'll hit it over into the outfield.
What is the Niagara Power coach thinking? Because I don't know what's going on. He's got,
maybe to keep him guessing,
he's got a plan in every avenue.
Here's the bunt that's going to trickle foul down the third base side for strike 2, and good awareness there by Thompson. There was no way that was going to go back into fair territory.
Yeah, good on him just touching it foul. It very well could have kicked off the grass and went back in.
But the way it was going, had that happened, the runner would have been safe.
Yeah, just always, if you don't know about it, just touch it foul. Just make sure that it doesn't go back in. You don't want to compound a bad inning with a hit that really shouldn't have been a hit. Fuller's
shaking off a sign. Now he's got the one he wants from Middleman. Here's the 1-2. It's a grounder right back to him. It's going to be, wild throw there, but a nice catch by Guggen. So a 1-6 put out at second. So rule that a fielder's choice. With 1 out, runners at the corners. We're back to the top of the order with Billy Morris.
That was shades of old Kansas City Royals versus Yankees baseball. Just a rough slide into second. I know that it's tough to have an accurate slide nowadays, but
yeah. Next pitch is inside for a ball.
That did look a little bit malicious, but, you know, I've seen worse. We all have.
So 1-0 count. Runners at the corners, just one out. I wonder the next pitch or two they try steal here to eliminate the double play. But here's the next pitch. Outside corner, strike one. Triple sticks on the board with the 1 out.
I imagine if that was a ball that we would have had a hit and run. We might still see a hit and run, but 1-1 is not exactly a hit and run count.
Next pitch by Fuller, fouled off. Strike two. So far, Morris, he is 0 for 3 with a walk. So he's still looking for his first hit. They've got 7 as a team. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2-2 count.
You can tell you, he really wanted that. Just had the late break of a slider. I swear, that looks like a fastball for 56 feet, and then for the last 4 feet, just absolutely darts away. What a beautiful pitch. Just barely outside.
2-2 on the way. Inside, count goes full. And Evans is the batter up next. He does have that possibility of having the bases loaded with just 1 out.
No, the slider was the worst pitch that I've ever, I couldn't hit a slider.
Here's the payoff. Fouled off, going over the top of the lighting and near the souvenir area. Souvenir City.
I'm waiting for a foul ball to one day hit my car.
Don't wish on that. Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. Fuller gets a sign. Here comes another payoff pitch by Fuller. This one is hit into the shallow outfield. It will go foul, and Garth can't make the catch. But the good news for Jamestown is it is a foul ball, and we'll have take 3 on a payoff.
I'm going to say that was a good choice not catching it. And I don't know if it was intentional for him not catching it. But if he would have caught it, this would probably have been a three-run game. With that runner on third, deep. Not exactly deep, but any fly ball to right field. Garth doesn't have the best arm on him. It would have been a close play at the plate, but I do think that he would have scored from third.
So count still full here. 1 out, runners at the corners. Here's Fuller's next pitch. This one popped up. Looks like it will stay in play. Monroe under it, and he'll make the catch for the 2nd out. So now it will be the shortstop, Zach Evans, up.
That insurance run 90 feet away, definitely looking a little bit more like a fantasy to the Niagara Power now with 2 outs.
Well, right now they got more of the reality, too, being up 2-0. But Evans, though, has a chance to make it a 3-0 game with a base hit. Fuller looking to keep it a 2-run deficit going into the bottom half. Here's the next pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. Again, Jamestown looking to keep the score 2-0 going into their last ups.
Big ups.
Here comes the 0-1. No, pick off first, but sliding in safely. He only had like maybe a 2-3 step lead off the bag.
I'd be scared throwing a pickoff move to first if there's a runner on third in this close of a game.
Yeah, because you turn that blind eye, the runner at third might see it and take off. Here's the next pitch in the dirt, 1-1.
1-1 count with 2 down. You might see the runner in motion. With a runner on third, you don't normally want to risk that third out being at second base.
So Fuller does get the sign, counts even at 1s. Here's the pitch, upstairs 2-1. So far, though, from what we see with Fuller, it's kind of like the shades of Mazik, looking pretty shaky on the rubber.
Just a little bit, but he's starting to put it in the zone as that ball is roped down and it almost clears the general admission. That's a lucky souvenir for a lucky fan.
Can get it autographed after the game.
I'll autograph it.
The count's even at 2s with 2 outs. Triple deuces on the board again.
Yeah, I think they want our autograph. How about we go down there and ask?
Instead of a jersey exchange, a baseball exchange. But as this pitch is about to be thrown, we're at the top of the hour. You're listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball on WRFA-LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown, New York. As this pitch is popped up, Middleman hustling to get there, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. And one question I do got to ask to all you Skunks fans is, can you dig it? For the first time this season at Dietrich, we're going to have the Skunk Ninth Inning up next. But first, Max, back over to you.
Hey, thank you, everyone. I thought you were going to say, do you believe in miracles? But you know what? That's for another time. I'd like to remind you guys that support for WRFA Radio is brought to you in part by listeners like you. WRFA is a non-commercial, non-profit community radio station. Anyone who wants to make a donation of any amount can do so simply by clicking the donate button located on the menu bar of our website, WRFALP.com. It's fast and easy. Checks of any amount can also be made out to WRFA Radio and mailed to the radio station at 116 East 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York, 14701. Local businesses are also encouraged to make an underwriting contribution to WRFA. To learn more about becoming a station underwriter, email WRFA@reginaldman.com. If you enjoy this program, please consider making a donation or underwriting contribution today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Low power to the people, right on.
And with that, though, the Power's sticking with their last pitcher, the mystery man, number 38. We don't need to worry about removing any mask as we're not part of the Mystery Machine crew. But last up's here for Jamestown, and the batter's up. It's going to be 10-1-2 in Bendeck, Catalano, and Guggens. Catalano responsible for the only hit of the game for Jamestown. Even though the board says 2, you and I both know that's incorrect. They only have 1 hit on the game tonight as the last warm-up pitch is about to be thrown, and Jamestown looking to avoid being shut out for just the 2nd time at home since the team began playing as the Skunks in 2021. And here's a little backtrack on the history. The last year they were the Jammers. They did win their championship in the PGCBL. Shortly after that, the ownership moved to Milwaukee, became the Milwaukee Milkmen. There was no baseball at all in 2019. The Skunks were supposed to start in 2020, but COVID obviously put the axe to that. 2021, they made the playoffs, got eliminated in the first round, and last year they finished 3 games under 500, were in 6th in the West, and failed to make it. But right now they're in first place. They're a game and a half roughly ahead of Niagara as the next pitch is called a strike on the inside corner.
1 strike to start the bottom 9, up by 2 for the Power. I think strike 1 is the best pitch you can throw there.
Yeah, Skunks, again, last licks, down to their last 3 outs. Next pitch, outside corner, strike 2, and this is where you've got to wave the bat at it and keep the at-bat alive.
Getting nervous, making me nervous up here. Heart's dropping, and I'm not even playing the game.
Biting the nail down to the nub. Here's the 0-2. This is going to be a grounder. Over to Evans. He'll field it cleanly. Throw to first in time. 2 outs away from a win for Niagara.
And here we got Catalano. He's got the only hit of the game so far, but he did reach base on a walk in his 3rd at-bat. But he chopped out to second base in his 2nd at-bat, and that just seems to be what is going on for everyone. I think I've seen the most choppers to second base today than ever.
So 1 out down, 2 to go here for the Power, but the Skunks looking to go on a run as Catalano hits a screaming foul ball for strike 1.
And it looks like everyone is leaning forward in their chairs in the general admission.
Here's the 0-1. That one fouled, going beyond the bleachers on the left side, making it strike 2.
And that one looks to be going into the woods.
Wake up, squirrels. You got a gift coming for you.
Lucky souvenir for a lucky skunk.
So 0-2 count. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 2 outs here, and it's up to Googans to keep it alive. He's the last gasp for Jamestown. But at least to keep the spirits up, though, Googans does have an awesome walk-up song, if I would say so. Some Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
The bass line's always the best part of the song, September, even though it's not for another 2.5 months. Here's the next pitch, off speed, but outside, ball 1.
In fact, I do remember the 21st night of September. Wait, which one?
We already know it's not Skunks baseball because it's out of season. Next pitch, outside, ball 2.
2 straight balls here. Everyone is either starting to leave or just standing up, getting ready.
Indeed. So count 2-0, 2 outs. Next pitch is low, ball 3. Should Googans get walked, Gagnon is up next.
And Gagnon would be the tying run. And then Garth would be the winning run.
But there is 2 outs, so you don't want to get too far ahead, as it's a 4-pitch walk for Googans. That's the second time he has been walked today, and second in his last 3 at-bats. Now it'll be Gagnon. He'll look to avoid the dreaded golden sombrero.
And
3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, 2 strikeout looking, and then 1 drop third strike with the 2-3 put out. Not something you really like to do, but if there's any opportunity for him to make up for it, it's right here, right now.
So here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
And he wanted to tie that game up right here, right now.
Yeah, well, instead he felt the breeze.
Yeah, I could feel the wind from that swing from here.
0-1 count. Googans on first. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Jamestown 1 strike away from being handed their first home loss of the season. Again, their only loss this year so far was a 7-0 loss back on the 9th. That was against the Doubledays. And they actually have a doubleheader coming up against them in the next month. That's in about 5-6 weeks' time. Next pitch, caught looking, outside corner, strike 3. So not a good way to end the game for the Skunks with a player getting that golden sombrero. And for just the second time in their history here at Dietrich Park, Jamestown walks away with no runs to show for it. They fall on the short end of the stick 2-0, but they are still in first place by half a game because of that tie against Newark just yesterday. I gotta say though, both Gilman as well as Berta, they both did fairly well on the mound. It was just a couple of those errors that Jamestown had that came back to haunt them at the end.
Yeah, definitely, the loss shouldn't be going to Gilman like it is. Obviously, it has to go to a pitcher, but he didn't have an earned run throughout his entire tenure of 5 2/3 innings. But, yeah, he shouldn't have put his team in the situation, but that's not on him. That being said, at least one pitcher has to get the loss. It's unfortunate that it has to go to Gilman, but Duddle had a fantastic game on the mound for the Niagara Power.
Yes, he did. A combined 1 hitter.
I am glad that he is the one who's getting the win.
And that's going to do it for tonight's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA with the final score. Jamestown on the short end of the stick getting blanked by Niagara tonight, 2-0. Thank you to our studio engineers, Gavin Paternitti and Anthony Merchant, and also to our WRFA intern as well. Will Stallsmith will actually be meeting him sometime soon throughout the season. But for my broadcast partner, Max Pinjator, along with executive producer Jason Sample, this is Norm Rodriguez saying thank you for listening to Jamestown Tarp Skunk Baseball on WRFA, and we'll see you here tomorrow night for the matchup at 6:30 versus the Batavia Muck Dogs. Once again, right here on WRFA.
Take a real simple on you, Norm. Nice job, by the way, guys. Super job. We're going to turn this off.